recruited. Today is Kirby Freeman's day. He's a little more creative than Kyle Wright. He's won before. Won the Boston College game last year. He won the bowl game last year, and especially 2 weeks ago, the last 3 completions in a drive, touchdown pass to win the Florida State game.
One key to the game today, Coach?
Well, turnovers, and more turnovers. The NC State is turning the football over, and again, that's something that they've got to be corrected.
You can see in the first 6 games of the season a -17, the last 2 games a +1, so they're doing a lot better. Everything has really changed over the last couple of weeks for this North Carolina State team. North Carolina State won the toss. They deferred. Miami will receive to start it here. Here's Ryan Hill to return this kick. Out over the 20, spun down at the 25-yard line, and that's where Miami will start. First down and 10 after that 14-yard return. Mr. Freeman making his 3rd start of the year, coming off a nice comeback performance against Florida State. He's named the starting quarterback over Kyle Wright for the first 2 weeks, but was inconsistent and was benched. He's getting a chance here to redeem himself late in the season, Larry.
Well, consistency, that's the key. He's made big plays. He's made big bad plays for the other team. So he's got to be consistent. And I know that's what Patrick Nix wants to see.
On first down and 10, the first play of the game for Miami. Javaris James dumped for a loss down at the 14-yard line. Willie Young, the left defensive end, coming in to make that hit. Well, the Canes have one of the youngest backfields in the country. James is the old man of that group as a sophomore. The Miami line is centered by senior John Rochford. He is a first-year starter. He hails from Linwood, New Jersey. So now a 2nd and 22 here, Coach, for Miami on their first possession.
Well, negative plays. You can't have negative plays. I know that's certainly not the way that Miami wanted to start the game. And this is going to be a big play on 2nd down.
Little inside handoff. That's Darnell Jenkins from his wide receiver position. Runs it out to the 24-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long. The Wolfpack defense has produced 12 of their 21 sacks this season in the last 2 weeks. Defensive end Willie Young, he's already made a big play. He had 3 sacks last week against Virginia. Strong side linebacker Nate Irving, a redshirt freshman, making his 2nd straight career start today. And there have been a lot of changes in this North Carolina State secondary in recent weeks. DeJuan and DeAndre Morgan, they're brothers. DeAndre recently promoted to a starting position.
Mike Archer's really going to be competitive as far as starting positions are concerned, and I think that's important. And the Wolfpack players know that.
Archer is their first-year defensive coordinator. Penalty flag is going to blow this dead. It looked like the snap got away from Freeman anyway.
Prior to the snap, illegal snap, number 62 in the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's really a good break for the Hurricanes because, again, an errant snap, and, you know, that would have been another negative play. And, you know, you'd rather have a penalty than a negative play from a sack because at least you get the down over. Still 3rd down now.
3rd down and 17. Just underway here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Big game, especially for Miami in the ACC race. Freeman out of the gun. He is being chased. On the run, threw it away, and there is another penalty flag down. It looks like Miami's going to be forced to punt unless this goes against North Carolina State.
I believe there's an eligible receiver downfield, which looks like me. I think 71 was downfield. Ineligible. Derek Morris, the right guard.
Ineligible receiver, number 62, Willie going downfield. Penalties declined. 4th down.
They missed 71. He was downfield also, so not a guy. It's supposed to have been a screen. The ball was thrown past the line of scrimmage. You can have people downfield if the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. That ball was thrown past the line of scrimmage.
So coming on out to punt for Miami is Matt Bosher. Darrell Blackman, one of the ACC's top return men, back to return at his own 37. This is going to be good field position here to start for NC State. Fairly short kick. It bounces at the 46. Takes a little bit of a Miami roll, and they're downing it at the 41, and that's where North Carolina State will start a 39-yard punt for Bosher. As we take a look at the ACC standings, we said that Miami controls its own destiny. Why? Because they still have Virginia Tech and Virginia on their schedule. They need to win out, but they could win the Coastal Division.
Well, it's going to be difficult, but they can win those games. Miami has 17 starters back from a year ago. Only Boston College has 17 starters coming back, so they have good players, and they have a chance to win these games. It's going to be tough, but they can do it.
Here's a look at Daniel Evans, the redshirt junior from Raleigh. It's been a weird year for that guy. He began the season as the starter, lost his job, got it back due to injury. Running play for Jamel Eugene. Gets it out to the 45. Now, Evans has thrown for 1,140 yards and 10 touchdowns on the season, but nearly 700 yards and 6 touchdowns have come in the last 2 weeks, Coach. This guy is on fire, but so is the team.
Well, they really are. And Tom O'Brien and his staff, they've been together for the most part about 10 years. They know what they're doing. They're an outstanding coaching staff. Tom O'Brien, a great head football coach. And this team is going to get better as the season progresses and as the years progress.
Good situation here. 2nd down and 5 for NC State. Under center, Evans, 5-step drop. Looks over the middle. Now pressure. Running, throwing, and it's knocked away. Good job in the secondary by strong safety Kenny Phillips. One of the best safeties in the country. There's a little example of why.
I think you're right, Clay. I think he is one of the best safeties in the country. And you're right, that shows why. He's in the line of some of the great safeties that Miami has had.
Backs and receivers for NC State. We've already seen Eugene carry the ball. On the line, it runs the gamut. Freshmen to seniors, they're getting better as a unit. Evans has been hit just 3 times in the last 2 weeks. Again, this team has really started coming together in recent weeks. 3rd down and 5 for NC State. Their first possession. Again, dropping back Evans. Again, throwing on the run. The pass is short and some pretty good coverage by the linebacker, Colin McCarthy. It was intended for Marcus Stone, the tight end. So good play there for for Miami rather, and now North Carolina State has to punt.
Well, I think again a good series by the Miami defense. They've done a great job. They've been very aggressive. Again, created 20 turnovers as opposed to 21 in 13 games last year, 20 in just 8 games this year. Tim Walton, the defensive coordinator, has been very aggressive, and I really like what I see out of the Hurricane defense.
Both defenses have done a good job to start here. Penalty flag down as Bradley Pearson is in punt formation.
Prior to the snap. False start. Number 14 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
I think Miami feels pretty fortunate to have such a bad first offensive series and have an opportunity to get the ball back. And it may not be a good field position, but we'll see on this return.
They're going to be helped out by that penalty. Now Greg Cooper is standing at the 20. High kick. He's backing up. Actually, that's Chavez Grant. He takes it at the 11-yard line on the fair catch. A 48-yard punt for Pearson. Miami has the football again when we come back. A beautiful day in South Florida. And we're back after this.
Jack Lee.
Absolutely gorgeous weather here in South Florida. Sunny, 77 degrees. Hurricane Noel stayed away from Miami this week, and a cool front has moved in. It's absolutely perfect here at the Orange Bowl today. And Miami's got the football back. 1st down and 10. They got it at their own 11-yard line. Kirby Freeman getting the start today for the Canes. Flips it back to Javaris James. He's got a running room. Out over the 20 to the 21-yard line, and enough for the 1st down for James, the sophomore, who is averaging 157 yards a game rushing. He picks up 12 on that carry.
That's a nice job to the right of your screen. Nice toss. Good job by the fullback. Nice job here by James. And again, he's an outstanding running back and the cousin of Edgerrin James. Great running back now for the Phoenix Cardinals.
James has been bothered a little bit by a sore neck. On 1st down, here is Freeman. Dumps it off short. And in and out of the hands of James.
I think they're trying to give Kirby some confidence and some easy throws. And again, you'd like to see some players make some plays for him like that.
Bring up 2nd and 10. Freeman beat Marshall in the opener. You and I were here for that game, Larry, but then looked real bad against Oklahoma. Subsequently was demoted.
Freeman was the starter, got demoted. Kyle Wright was the starter. Now the injury, now Freeman back with his opportunity. He has to take advantage of it.
2nd down and 10. Cutting it to the outside. That is James again. Got it to the 27-yard line, a gain of 5. DeAndre Morgan, the right cornerback, came up and knocked him down. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 5 situation.
Well, third down is going to be good. Third down, I think, with 29% completion ratio on third down.
Well, Randy Shannon, the first-year head coach of the Canes, told us they got a lot accomplished during that bye week. Sometimes they come along at a great time.
Well, they do. Sometimes you get players healthy. You get to work on fundamentals. You have a chance to get better. Again, they look like a little bit rusty on offense right now, but with a week off, but they'll get in rhythm.
Freeman has time in the pocket, throws it deep downfield, incomplete. And another punting situation for Miami. Let's go to the studio for the first time, and Mike Gleason.
Well, Clay, the Buckeyes, it didn't take them long to strike against the Badgers. The Wisconsin's won the last 3 in the shoe. Beckman.
Yeah, Beckman withstands the blitz, but Ike Guanu, the corner, misses the tackle. Brian Brubisky makes him pay for the touchdown.
22 touchdown passes now for Beckman. 7-0 Buckeyes over the Badgers. Clay?
All right, Khalid, thank you very much. You know, how come we're not hearing about him for a Heisman candidate?
Well, especially being from the Ohio State University.
I know it.
Because that's obviously a big-time program, and he's done extremely well.
#1 in the country, like Glee said, 22 touchdown passes. That one lands. Now, Miami thinks they've got it, but I don't think North Carolina State touched it.
No, I don't think they did. No, they didn't touch it. They may replay this, but they probably don't need to because it wasn't touched. The fair catch was called for, but NC Blackman was not able to feel the football. You see Blackman, but again, he gets away from it. Wasn't touched there. I think this will be NC State football.
And Darrell Blackman is a savvy return man. Again, one of the ACC's best, averages about 12 yards per punt return, just stayed away from that one. And it was the smart thing to do. As you take a look at Tom O'Brien, also in his first season as head coach, came from Boston College and is trying to turn this program around. Jamel Eugene is going to be stopped for a short gain, maybe 2 yards before Kenny Phillips came in to wrap him up. Eugene, after injuries to Tony Brown in the opener and then Andre Brown a month ago, North Carolina State has turned to this guy who was 356 rushing yards, including a career-high 112 in the upset of Virginia last week. They don't know yet if he can be an every-down guy. They're finding out just on the job. And it's Eugene again, straight ahead to the 45.
Well, they really don't know that. And again, they've had 2 of their best players with Baker and Brown, both injured early in the season. So they've gone to the #3 running back. They've had a lot of injuries at NC State. And again, the NC State coaches haven't complained about that, but that certainly does affect their football team.
This is a new season for North Carolina State. It started in their bye week 3 weeks ago. And in the new season, they're 2-0. That's how they look at it. Nowhere to run on that play. It's going to be a loss of 1 for Eugene. And boy, the punters are getting a workout here early on.
They really are. They're running the zone play, and the key thing in a zone play is you cannot have penetration. The Miami defense did a great job of penetrating, causing Eugene to have to bounce the football, and pursuit caught up. It's really a good play by the Miami defense.
This will be their second punt for Pearson. Averages 37 yards per kick, gets off a good one here. Chavez Grant lets it bounce, takes a North Carolina State roll to the 15-yard line, and that's where Miami will have it. It's homecoming here at the Orange Bowl. Beautiful weather to be enjoyed by the Canes fans. We're back in Miami after this timeout.
It's Bobby.
ESPNU College Football is presented by Allstate. Are you in good hands? Michael Irvin, one of the greatest Canes of all time, on hand today for homecoming.
Michael was also Randy Shannon's roommate, so he has a double reason to be here.
Yeah, they're real tight. Handoff here for Javaris James. Actually, that's Duron Thomas getting a carry here early on, and that probably confirms the fact that Sean Bray McNeil, the usual #3 running back, is a little hobbled today. So Duron Thomas getting an early carry. There he is.
I'm a little surprised Greg Cooper's not getting that carry, because normally he is the #2 guy coming in, and Duron Thomas is a good football player out of New Orleans.
It's either been a sluggish start for both offenses or a real good start for both defenses. We have seen 4 punts already. Neither team has been able to complete a pass. And We've seen a lot of running the football so far, but not a lot of holes.
Not a lot of holes. No, I think you're just trying to feel their way out, and I think this is pretty good for NC State. If they can keep it like this and bounce around and kind of the little rope-a-dope technique, I think they'll get their confidence built up playing on the road in a tough environment.
Miami 0 for 2 on third down conversion so far today. They're going to try and pick one up here on third down and 1. They're at their own 24-yard line. Kirby Freeman, the quarterback.
They're only 29% on third downs, too, for the season, which is not very good.
Pitch it back. This is Thomas again. Wow. Slippery hips, and he finds his hole. To the 30. And driven out of bounds inside the 25-yard line, finally by the strong safety, Javon Walker. But a huge run, 54 yards for Thomas on that carry.
Again, that wasn't like you draw it up. That's all recruiting and all just being a football player there. Watch Deron Thomas here. 1 move, 2 moves, 3 moves, 4 moves. And now he has speed. He has track speed. Big play for the Hurricanes.
You're right. This does come as a little bit of a surprise to see Thomas, considering James and Cooper have been kind of the 1-2 punch for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, actually Cooper is the leading rusher for the Hurricanes at this time.
That is the longest run of Thomas's career. They're going to go back to the ground game. This is the fullback, Jarrell Mabry, bulling his way inside the 20. So Miami is now in the red zone, where they are 77% on the season, 61% scoring touchdowns.
Well, again, they need touchdowns here. Jarrell Mabry is a fullback out of Georgia. He's trimmed down to a mere 275 pounds. So he's a real fullback.
He's on the seafood diet.
He's on the seafood diet.
Sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia. He's a big guy. He's on the sideline right now. James dots the I in the backfield. He gets the quick toss, finds some room on the outside, cuts the corner, driven out of bounds by DeJuan Morgan. But it's an 11-yard gain, first down and goal for the Hurricanes.
They had Chris Zeller, number 88, in at the fullback position. He is probably one of the best blockers they have on the football team. 88 coming through, and again, nice run by James. You know, they're really liking this toss play. They're trying to get the Wolfpack defense to run, and that tends to wear a defense out as the day goes on.
You see Kirby Freeman. He's orchestrating this drive. The 6th play of the drive coming up. Thomas is back in there at tailback. A penalty flag comes in to stop this.
I think they had too many men on the field, and they had one leave the huddle. Again, you can't break the huddle with 12. Richard Gordon came off. And,
there is no foul. The foul would have been for 12 players breaking the huddle. However, there is only 10 on the field. No foul.
Oh, that's a tricky one.
Their arithmetic was screwed up.
That's exactly right. I think that's a tricky one. You don't want to do that too often, though. Try to fool the officials. They don't like that.
So first down and goal here from the 6-yard line. Miami has gotten to this point running the football entirely. They haven't completed a pass yet. They go back to Thomas, dives inside the 5. And I'll tell you what, I like what I see from Thomas here early on.
He has very quick feet. He has good speed. I think the thing you see, too, is they're really trying to take some of the pressure off of Kirby Freeman and put it on the rest of this football team. They need to take ownership. It's not just on Kirby Freeman. Let's make Kirby Freeman look good. Let's block for him. Let's run the football, and then the passing game will tend to open up.
95 yards of offense for the Hurricanes so far today, all rushing. 2nd down, goal to go.
And still in the first quarter.
Again to Thomas. Now this time he is hit in the backfield and hit hard by Willie Young. Young is coming off the best game of his career against Virginia last week. He had 7 tackles and 3 sacks.
That was a huge football game for North Carolina State, and you can see Willie Young's acceleration, his explosiveness to the football. That's a great job by Willie Young.
He is a sophomore out of Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and that's another reason that North Carolina State has reason to be fired up. There are a lot of Florida natives, especially South Florida natives, on this team.
There will be a lot of parents for North Carolina State players here in the Orange Bowl today.
3rd down and goal from the 5. Freeman in trouble. Spins away from a tackle, stays on his feet. Now looking to the end zone. He looks like Fran Tarkenton. Throwing deep and out of the end zone. Smart play after Freeman figured out he had no chance.
Well, he had no chance. And to take a negative play there probably would have been out of field goal range. So, and now at least they have a very makeable field goal. Again, red zone, not disaster, but red zone failure from the standpoint of not scoring touchdowns.
Freeman now 0 for 4 throwing the football. Well, coming in now to attempt a field goal is Darren Daly. Francesco Zampogna has been demoted the last couple of weeks. Daly on from 22 yards out. Out of the hold of David Strimple. And it's good. So Daly now 2 for 3 on field goal attempts this year. 3-0 Miami. Miami gets on the board first. The big play in that 9-play, 80-yard drive. This 54-yard run from Duron Thomas. And North Carolina was worried about the big plays.
Well, they really were. The first games of the season, that's what was their nemesis. So many big plays, so many missed tackles. And defensive coordinator Mike Archer's really, especially during the open day, really trying to stress the fact that that's something that they can't have. The last 2 games have been really, really cut down on the big plays.
54-yard run by Thomas, the second longest of the season for Miami. He now has 9 carries for 55 yards. North Carolina State set to get the football back here. From the 6-yard line, this is Darrell Blackman. He is slippery. Out over the 31, and that's where the Wolfpack will start. Let's go to the studio and Mike Gleason.
Well, Clay, we mentioned the fact Wisconsin's won their last 3 trips into the horseshoe, trailing 7-0. P.J. Hill's not playing, so they have to pull out the bag of tricks. Ken DeBow, punt formation, finds Paul Standring, the backup punter. That leads to a field goal at 7-3 Ohio State. Duke scores first on Clemson.
Yeah, Thaddeus Lewis throws his 18th touchdown. As you see, the defender in the zone comes up, leaves that end zone spot open for Aaron Riley for the end route touchdown.
Duke 7-3. Clay?
Well, every game is big for Tommy Bowden and his staff at Clemson, trying to win their 3rd straight today. Here is Evans on first down, comes short, and a nice catch underneath there by John Dunlap, back in the lineup after missing the Virginia game with a sprained ankle. He is a senior out of Hollywood, Florida. He's a guy that they consider a go-to guy, and they're happy to have him back.
Well, he is a go-to guy. He's here again from South Florida. He's an outstanding linebacker. A lot of people recruited him to play linebacker, but a great wide receiver. Made some great plays throughout his career at NC State.
So 2nd and 5. North Carolina State has had good field position throughout the day so far. Their average field position has been to start at the 40. And they're getting close to the 40-yard line here after that run by Jamel Eugene.
They've been getting some 3rd and shorts, but they have not been able to pick up the 3rd downs. And that's the thing that's really hurt to NC State.
Here's a look at Tom O'Brien, and he said about Jamel Eugene that he always goes full speed in practice. And if you play hard in practice, you're going to play in games for Tom O'Brien.
That's exactly right. He knows what he wants and how he wants to get to it. And he and the staff are all on the same page. You have to perform. As they say, you don't have just the right to play, you earn the right to play.
North Carolina State 0 for 2 so far on 3rd down conversion attempts. They're going to pick up the first down here. Donald Bowens coming off a career day against Virginia last week, but there is a penalty marker on the play. Illegal man downfield.
Now, Donald Bowens had 11 catches last week against Virginia. This is his best game of his career.
Ineligible receiver, number 9, was covered up and went downfield. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So it'll be a 3rd down at about 7. This is from last week. Bowens, 11 catches, 202 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The best North Carolina State receiving game in 4 years.
Well, that's hard to believe, but that was a great performance by Bowens. And I think last week he was not a starter in that game last week. He's the starter this week.
3rd down at 6. We're hearing from this Orange Bowl crowd for the first time, and it looked like the left guard moved. That's Mears Green, the right guard, the former walk-on, now a starter.
Ball start. Number 69 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Well, both Green and Heppy moved. Kalani Heppy's actually going to be the one that's nailed for the infraction, a fifth-year senior out of Bealton, Virginia. North Carolina State now getting hurt by mistakes.
Got a little bit out of sync, and you know, it was third down and 1, now it's third down and 11. So those mistakes you can't make unless you're just a lot better than the other team. North Carolina State is not better than Miami.
Out of the gun. Evans, down he goes. Colin McCarthy. The sophomore strong side linebacker drills Evans for a loss of 8.
That's a great job by Colin McCarthy, but this Miami defense, it's a defensive ends. Calais Campbell and Eric Moncourt. Look at the pressure coming from outside. Shiraz McCray inside. Again, no place to go. No place to go for the quarterback. Great job there on Daniel Evans.
Miami in total defense ranked 28th in the country. Doing a good job so far today. Chavez Grant watches this one roll out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
And you see field position starting to switch now. Field position now in favor of the Hurricanes.
Well, college football on ESPNU continues this afternoon as the Maryland Terrapins take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Saturday afternoon college football presented by Allstate on ESPNU coming up at 3:45 today. For more information, go to the net, ESPNU.com. Both teams 1-3 in the ACC. Maryland still has bowl hopes. They're at 4-4 coming into the weekend.
Well, this conference is very even. A lot of even teams. And, you know, I know it's cliche, but any team can win. And I think that's been proven.
Javaris James is going to run here. Actually, that's Darnell Jenkins. And he is pulled down from behind by Littleton Wright.
I talked to Marcus Mosley, the wide receiver coach, before the game. And he's been very, very pleased with Darnell Jenkins' his progress this year. He's their leading receiver. He's already graduated, done a great job catching the football. And again, normally with the reverses and those type things, they like for Darnell Jenkins to touch the football. Very explosive. Player of the Year of South Florida when he graduated.
He and Kyle Wright hooked up on a 97-yarder against North Carolina earlier this season. He's a big play kind of guy. James picking his way out over the 45-yard line, down at the 47, a gain of 4. And DeJuan Morgan, the junior free safety, made the stop. Now, Morgan, number 7, he's the veteran of the secondary. He moved from strong safety to free safety when defensive coordinator Mike Archer shuffled things up in that defensive backfield. It really has helped things.
They've gotten a lot better, and again, they're creating turnovers now. They're not turning the ball over as much, and they're just becoming better as a football team. They're buying in to Tom O'Brien in this system.
Low snap. Freeman does a good job, but throws it, and it's intercepted. There was nobody downfield for Freeman. He just threw it up and away, and it was picked off by Miguel Scott. And Miguel Scott brings it back to the 38-yard line, and a smattering of boos here at the Orange Bowl. They're not happy with that decision by the junior quarterback, Kirby Freeman.
Well, there's a miscommunication there. The receiver went in, and Kirby obviously assumed he was going down the field. I think you can see the cut outside. There it is, going across with a post route. Again, Freeman thought the receiver was going deep. And again, obviously a disastrous miscommunication.
And Miguel Scott needed a confidence builder. The 3-year starter recently demoted. We talked about that secondary shakeup. He was a victim of that. Freeman now 0 for 5 with an interception. Here's Darrell Blackman. Sheds a tackle. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more before he's escorted out of bounds.
Well, we talked about the field position. Now it's switched back in the favor of the Wolfpack. And that's very important. Now they have to do something with it. But that's very important for this football game.
We talked about turnovers being a problem for North Carolina State. Well, there is a costly early turnover for Miami.
Well, even in the Florida State win, Florida State had 5 turnovers. Miami had 4. They were one less turnover, which allowed them to win the football game. That's too many.
Little inside handoff to Eugene. Plucks ahead for about 3 yards. College football on ESPNU continues tonight with 2 games. First at 7:15 Eastern. This is going to be exciting, folks. A Big East matchup. Ray Rice and Rutgers taking on number 13 UConn. Then at 10:30 Eastern, the Jackson State Tigers taking on Alabama A&M. Saturday primetime on the U. Evans on the run. Caught and dropped, but the official is going to say he was down at the 47. That is Dunlap again.
Well, this will be interesting for the first down here, wherever they get the mark. And it's really a great play by Evans, and a nice concentration by Dunlap.
Yeah, this is going to be close. They may need a measurement here.
They're definitely going to measure, and it is very, very close. This is very important for NC State to keep this field position where they want to have it.
Well, we talked about North Carolina State, how it's kind of been a rebirth the last few weeks for this team. They used that bye week a few weeks ago, and since then they're 2-0.
Well, again, they refer to it as a new season. All things are past. Everything's new. They're playing much better. The kids are buying into it. I think the coaches have learned, too, what can our guys do? What can they do? And they know that, and now they're building on those things. Mike Archer simplified the defense. Tom O'Brien has simplified the offense, along with Dana Bible, and they're doing things now that they know how to do and can do better.
And they just got their first down of the day.
And it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. And it may be the last play of the first quarter. We're going to have to wait and see.
Miami basically has 10 starters back on this defense, a very experienced defensive football team.
That is going to do it. Well, it was a defensive battle in the first quarter.
You would almost predict that.
Miami in their second to last game here at the Orange Bowl, leading 3-0 over North Carolina State. We're back for the second quarter after this timeout.
ESPN.
Orange Bowl moments. We're going to revisit some of those throughout the day today. This is the second to last game for the Hurricanes here in this storied building. Who can forget 1984? He would be the Heisman Trophy winner, Doug Flutie, to our buddy Gerard Phelan in the end zone. And I'll tell you what, Boston College has not beaten Miami since that game. That's Jamel Eugene going nowhere. Colin McCarthy having a great first half. Another big loss. We'll call it a loss of 8 on that play.
Colin McCarthy was injured a great deal last year as a true freshman, but you just knew he was going to be an outstanding football player. And he's had a great season, not just a great half today. He's played well the entire season. He is, in football talk, he is a football player.
Out of the gun on 2nd and 18. Evans to the sideline. And that's going to land incomplete. He was trying to hit Darrell Davis, but he was covered pretty well. The true freshman out of Leland, North Carolina. Now, in the first quarter, there was a lot of punting and not a lot of passes being completed. In fact, Miami did get on the board, but they did so without completing a pass.
Well, they're running the ball. They want to give Kirby Freeman, get him in a rhythm in the game. They're going to have to throw the ball some, obviously, the rest of these games. But I think to get him in a rhythm and settle him down just a little bit. Now he's got a lot of press coverage. They're going to need to hit some of these fade routes, these deep routes to these wide receivers.
Play action to the right. Comes underneath, trying to hit Marcus Stone, the tight end, and that just looked ugly.
Well, that was ugly, and I tell you, the tight end Anthony Hill, probably their best offensive football player, the tight end for North Carolina State, is injured. But again, that's just a poor pass, and I think you have to put the responsibility on Daniel Evans there. He's got to throw the football better.
Bradley Pearson on to punt for the 4th time already today for North Carolina State. Gets it away. And this is Chavez Grant. He's going to let it bounce at the 26-yard line. It takes a roll inside the 10 down to the 6. And that's where Miami's going to have to start. Unless this penalty flag means something otherwise.
I believe it's a penalty against Miami's defense for hands, illegal use of hands. Holding, yes.
So this is going to go against Miami. It's going to be rotten field position here for the Hurricanes.
Well, they're talking about it. Maybe it was touched by a player. We'll see. NC State touched the ball upfield, and so it's probably going to. There's probably a beanbag to mark the touching of the ball, and then they'll mark off the penalty.
Well, if it's where it hit, it would be around the 26.
We have a hold on a member of the receiving team, number 87. That will be enforced from the spot of first touching Miami ball.
That was Khalil Jones, number 87. Lace up your skates for college hockey on ESPNU tomorrow as the Army Black Knights take on the Holy Cross Crusaders. Hockey on ESPNU coming up on Sunday at 4 Eastern. For more information, go to ESPNU.com. And it's been a good start for the Miami Redhawks under head coach Enrico Blasi. They are out to a 6-0 start, #1 in the latest poll.
Well, it's 78 degrees here. You don't think about hockey in South Florida, but the Panthers in the past have been pretty good.
Come on, it's always a good time for hockey. Darnell Jenkins tripped up in the backfield. And that's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. We've seen Jenkins carry the football quite a bit here early on, but he really hasn't had much success yet.
No, he's that type of player. It's nothing, big play. And Darnell took the direct snap at that time, the old Arkansas stuff they call their wild hog formation, and again the direct snap and the direct sweep. They're Miami's searching a little bit. They really haven't found anything right now to hang their hat on.
Jenkins again out of the quarterback position, and again nowhere to go. Good pressure by the North Carolina State defense. That is going to be a loss of 7 on the play.
Well, we've seen the tosses to Javaris James and the runs from Jerron Thomas. Those look pretty good. This really hasn't been very effective for him. You know, it's been negative play. Again, I think you'll see them go back to the tosses to James, the handoffs to Jerron Thomas. Those are the guys that need to carry the football for the majority of the time.
Well, in the backfield for the first time today is Greg Cooper, the true freshman out of Memphis. He's been great this year, hasn't carried yet. Now he's got the football, and he's got some running room. He is dangerous when he gets into space. He gets it back out to the 19. A gain of 14, but it's still going to be 4th down and long, and Miami will have to punt. I wonder why we haven't seen Cooper up to now. Maybe it's something that the coaching staff saw before the game they didn't like.
I think maybe not before the game, but maybe he something throughout the week. Maybe he hadn't practiced as well as he needed to. Maybe something like that. But you can see what Miami needs to do. They need to hand the ball to Cooper, to Jerron Thomas, to James, to get something established.
Blackman at the 42. He calls for the fair catch as he's backpedaling, and they're going to spot it at the 38. That's where North Carolina State will start after that 42-yard punt from Bosher. .12:09 till half. 3-0 Miami. ESPNU College Football presented by Allstate. Greg Cooper finally got into the game. 14 yards on that run puts him 3rd all-time in freshman rushing yards. Of course, that big year from Javaris James came last year. Now, better late than never for Cooper.
Well, it really is. They're going to need Greg Cooper the remainder of the season.
North Carolina State back on offense, and it's almost picked off. Almost intercepted in the secondary. That was Glenn Sharp who had it and couldn't reel it in.
Glenn Sharp is an outstanding cornerback. He's had injuries throughout his career. Actually started in the national championship game in the loss to Ohio State at corner. And he's got great speed. He just needs to stay healthy for the Hurricanes. And he needs to high point the football.
Evans goes back to the ground game, and Eugene tried to get around that corner on the far side, but Colin McCarthy was there again for a loss of 1. Let's go to the studio and Mike.
Gators taking on Vanderbilt, Clay, and Tim Tebow. This is his 12th pass this year at 40+.
Yeah, Tim Tebow finds Lewis Murphy deep. What a great catch.
That sets up the touchdown. Keyston Moore, 7-0 now. The Gators on top of Vanderbilt. These guys have played some tight games over the last recent years. Clay?
All right, Clee, thank you very much. Vandy hasn't beaten Florida, though, since 1988. See what happens today. 3rd down and 11. North Carolina State on offense has had troubles all day. Now this play is whistled dead.
I believe Bowens actually flinched, moved. That last play by Colin McCarthy.
Right to the snap. False start. Number 80 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
The last play with Colin McCarthy, he reminds me so much of a great player, Dan Morgan, that played here now, plays for the Carolina Panthers. You know, as an offensive coordinator here at Miami, I told Dan Morgan, I said, whatever you do, you need to find where you are because you're going to make every play. And Colin McCarthy seems to have that knack to make plays.
20 yards against and penalties for North Carolina State. The last 5 NC State plays, -9 yards. Evans wants to throw on 3rd and 16, forced to run, being chased. Did he get enough? Boy, he took a hit on that far sideline. He was completely clobbered by Kenny Phillips, but he may still have got enough for the 1st down.
That was a serious hit by Kenny Phillips. Again, a good scramble here by Evans, and he's being chased. Oh, great effort here. Again, just needs to protect the football and reach out and dive for the pylon.
Phillips is a headhunter. I'll tell you, 2nd on the team in tackles. He has forced 3 fumbles. People say that he's got NFL written all over him. That was a big-time hit there.
Well, again, we had Ed Reed here, Sean Taylor, and he's that same type player. I think he's going to be a great player in here and, of course, in the NFL.
Well, it's enough for the 1st down. A gutty run by Daniel Evans, but it is under review here. Well, that last play was 16 yards for North Carolina State. The first 17 plays for the Wolfpack, 13 yards. So finally a breakout offensive play, even if Evans paid the price for it at the end.
No, he paid the price, and you know, Evans, that's not what he does. He's not a scrambler. I think he has to have some help and just some high percentage passing, and with taking a hit like that from Kenny Phillips, that makes you want to be less of a scrambler.
Here's another look. Now there is his right foot stepping out. Good job by the.
I believe that'll be a 1st down.
Good job by the people in the truck there to stop that, and we could see that it looks like he got it.
I will say this: the ACC replay equipment is state of the art. It's very, very good. It comes through clearly. It's very fast. And sometimes the officials.
As called on the field, 1st down.
That was good camera work that we had, and again, be fast with it. Make a decision, look at it, and then let's play the game. Don't hold the game up. Good job by the replay officials, and good job by the officials on the field.
So Daniel Evans and the Wolfpack keep this drive alive at the 48-yard line. Evans kind of exemplifies the entire team's turnaround the last couple of weeks. During the bye week, the coaches broke this team down. They watched a lot of tape, especially with Daniel Evans, and it's paid off. Eugene finds a hole over the left tackle, and a nice run on 1st down will give him 6 on the carry. Willie Cooper, the free safety, the senior out of St. Augustine, Florida, made the tackle.
Well, the Miami defense is really attacking upfield and leaving some creases, and that's a nice job, a nice call by Dana Bible, the offensive coordinator for NC State, and a nice run by Eugene.
And Eugene again. Down to the 44-yard line.
I think North Carolina State would like to have a little bit of a delay game and make 1st downs, move the chains, and use the clock some. I think they feel pretty good right now, only down 3-0.
Jamel Eugene has done the lion's share of the ball carrying today for North Carolina State. He was on the field for 76 snaps last week. Again, Tony Brown hurt, Andre Brown hurt and out. So it all falls on that man's shoulders.
Well, he's the number 3 running back, and he's kind of who they have.
This is the 6th play of the drive for NC State, their longest drive of the game so far. Pass caught and enough for the first down. That is John Dunlap, a passing first down for NC State.
Well, that's unique today. John Dunlap is an excellent receiver and really made a nice play there. Really, the ball was put in a pretty good position by Daniel Evans just to get it away from the defense. So again, pretty good coverage. Again, it's nice completion. Again, it goes down and gets the football. That's not an easy catch. Dunlap made it easy. The good ones make things look easy sometimes.
Dunlap, one of the team's captains for NC State. First down at 10. This is Eugene. Right up the gut, penalty flag comes in. That was a good run for Jamel Eugene, but another penalty marker comes in, and it looks like a hold. And that's the case. All right, let's go to the studio and Mike Gleason.
And Clay, that Florida touchdown got called back, but no worries. Tim Tebow takes it in. This is his 13th rushing touchdown. That ties an SEC record, 7-0 Florida. Joe Gans with a chance to play quarterback for the Huskers.
Yes, he's trying to prevent a 5th straight loss. Decides to take it in himself after not finding anyone open. Has a clear path to the end zone.
7-0 Huskers. Kansas unbeaten, Clay.
When was the last time Kansas was a 3-touchdown favorite over Nebraska? That was the case this week.
I spent a lot of years in the old Big 8 conference with Kansas and Nebraska. That has never happened.
Well, Nebraska, certainly it's had its struggles this year, but right now on top of the Jayhawks, who, as Glee mentioned, undefeated. Jamel Eugene trying to get some yards back after that penalty call down to the 46-yard line. And that was actually Curtis Underwood Jr. making the run there. And his first carry of the game, number 3.
Also a freshman, and you'll see Willie Cooper. The safeties are making the tackles, which is a pretty nice job of the NC State offense.
It was just the 13th carry of the year for Underwood. Two receivers to the near side, one to the right. Patrick Beddix is the lone setback. He's a fullback, very rarely carries the football. Passing down and caught by the tight end. Marcus Stone shakes loose inside the 20. And now North Carolina State is in the red zone. That is a gain of 26 on the play for Marcus Stone. And you know, fans will remember last year he was the team's quarterback. Now he's a tight end.
It looks like he's grown a little bit since last year. He's been able to eat a lot more. Nice ball placement there by Daniel Evans, away from the defense. And again, nice run after catch by Marcus Stone.
He became the #1 tight end when Anthony Hill got hurt in camp. Looks like a seasoned vet at the position on that play. On first down, back to Eugene. And he stood up and tossed back outside the 20-yard line. They'll probably give him forward progress and a gain of about 1 yard on the play.
Well, they like to see that from Marcus Stone because again, they have Anthony Hill. They're probably their best offensive player, injured early in the year, hasn't played, and so somebody else had to step up. Marcus Stone's done a good job of that.
Yeah, he's respected by his teammates. They voted him captain. But he's only been a tight end for 6 months.
Yeah, that's he really doesn't understand the position, and his coaches have mentioned that they'd love to have him for about 3 more years, but he's going to be gone. They don't have him for that long.
2nd and 9. Eugene again. He likes that left side. It seems to me, Coach, that when Eugene has found the most running room, it's come over left tackle.
Well, it really is, and Mears Green did a nice job from his guard position to pull and really get up and lead him through the hole, and really a nice job of blocking by the offensive line from NC State.
Gain of 6 on that play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. We're at the Orange Bowl in Miami alongside former Canes coach Larry Coker. I'm Clay Matvick. It is a beautiful day here in South Florida. About 77 degrees when we kicked off today. Winds out of the northwest at about 11 miles per hour. A little breeze, but it's very pleasant. On 3rd and 3, Evans had a receiver incomplete off the hand of John Dunlap. And now a decision to be made by Tom O'Brien.
Well, I think he's going to kick the field goal, but I think Daniel Evans, again, is just a little off in his passing. Those are his feet are not getting set, and you can see there off the fingertips of Dunlap. that from an offensive standpoint should have been an easy pass and catch. They made it more difficult than it was. An incompletion. Now they have a field goal attempt.
30-yard attempt coming up here for Stephen Hauschka, one of just 3 kickers in the country who hasn't missed a field goal attempt this season. He's 10 for 10 from 30 yards out, on the way, and it is no good. There is miss number 1 on the year for Hauschka. I guess I jinxed it. So it stays 3-0, much to the delight here of this Miami crowd.
Is your kids' room an obstacle course?
Miami has still yet to surrender a point in the first half at home this season. That was a great drive engineered by Evans. 11 plays, 50 yards, 5:32. But the field goal missed.
Well, yeah, that's a tough finish for NC State.
Greg Cooper back in the game, number 2, running the football out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. A good pickup on first down. We'll call it 7. Let's check in with Mike Gleason again.
Well, Clay, playing off what you and Coach were talking about, 37 of the last 38 times these two teams have met. Nebraska's won. Kansas comes back with the equalizer. Todd Reesing to Kerry Meyer. They're tied at 7. And Percy Harvin has scored for Florida. The last 2 times these two teams have met, Florida beat Vandy by 6, and in overtime, now it's 14-0 Gators.
Thanks, Mike. Both Florida and Vandy still alive for a division title, despite 3 losses apiece. Penalty flag down. And so is Greg Cooper at the 9-yard line, but we'll see what this penalty marker is all about.
I think they're trying to make Kirby Freeman throw the football to beat NC State.
It's going to go against Miami. And you can see Tom O'Brien wants to decline.
Yeah, huge negative play.
Chop block. Number 76 of the offense. Penalties refused. 3rd down.
That's against Chris Rutledge. The big 302-pound tackle, a junior out of Miami. He's called for the chop block. They spot it at the 16-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 14.
Well, this is a tough situation for Miami to be into. They're at home. They're just not getting anything going on offense of any consistency.
And they haven't had the luxury of good field position like North Carolina State has had today. On play action, Evans from his 5 cocks his arm, fires it deep downfield. Wide open is Darnell Jenkins. Off to the races. 10, 5, touchdown. An 84-yard touchdown strike, Freeman to Jenkins, and finally the big play Miami was looking for.
Well, without it, that's Kirby Freeman. He can create, and really play action pass on 3rd and a mile is usually not a good call. It was a good call that time, and he was so open. I thought he was late for school. He was. I don't know what happened, how they broke down their coverage. I'm sure Mike Archer's pulling his hair out now.
Well, before this year, Jenkins was considered a possession receiver, specializing out of the slot. This year, he has turned into a big play threat.
Darnell Jenkins was hurt last year, had knee surgery, and missed most of the year. And again, he's healthy. As you can see, he's got great speed. He is a big play receiver. That's something I think the Hurricanes really needed.
Darren Daly with the extra point, and it's 10-0 Miami. The longest touchdown pass of Kirby Freeman's career. Jenkins, and the 84-yard touchdown catch makes it 10-rip.
I'm Chad Johnson, all-pro wide receiver, and I am a GoDaddy customer. You can catch me for a couple hours on Sunday, or you can catch me at my website at any time. GoDaddy has everything you need to get online. GoDaddy. GoDaddy. .com names, website builders, hosting, email, you name it. Go get yours and tell them Ocho Cinco sent you. .com name for just $1.99. ChadJohnson85.com from GoDaddy.
Excuse me, Poppy. Hey, what's up? I know you're busy. Love to meet my family.
Sure.
Big Sox fans. My dad, Ed.
Hi, Ed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Mom, Mary.
Hi, Mary. It's a pleasure.
And that's my little sis, Christine.
Christine.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks. Thanks, Poppy.
Nice meeting you.
Let's go look at the studio.
Fantastic. Quality.
Wow.
Thanks to Bose technology, it is now possible to have, for the first time, the same noise reduction benefits in on-ear headphones as we achieved in the award-winning Quiet Comfort 2 around-ear headphones. And now you can choose your preferred style, QC2 around-ear headphones or QC3 on-ear headphones. Wear them when you fly to experience less noise at the flick of a switch. And create your own private sanctuary. Quiet Comfort headphones were designed for use in planes, but owners tell us about other uses, less distraction at work, to unwind after a hectic day, or to find your own space.
Sound quality is fantastic. Peace.
Both styles offer the same acclaimed level of performance. Purchase any Quiet Comfort headphones by January 31st, 2008, and receive $50 towards select Bose products purchased at the same time. Order Quiet Comfort headphones and hear the difference Bose technology makes.
The first completion of the day for Kirby Freeman is a big one, an 84-yard touchdown pass to Darnell Jenkins. Here's another look.
Well, DeAndre Morgan was just promoted this week to corner, and he just gets beat. He just falls to sleep, and Darnell Jenkins just gets wide open. Again, nice concentration by Jenkins and great speed and acceleration to score after the catch. Again, second big play that NC State's given up, and that's one thing that the defensive coordinator talked about. They had to prevent the big play. They've had two, both have resulted in scores.
Darrell Blackman to the 20, to the 25, tiptoeing along that far sideline, got it out to about the 35-yard line. Let's go to the studio and Mike Gleason.
Seconds after we showed Kansas with the equalizer, here comes Joe Gans right back, the backup quarterback, swings it out to Marlon Lucky, 62 yards. That's his 56th reception. That's more than Johnny Rodgers had. 14-7 Nebraska on top. Coming up on the Sports Center U halftime report, the Buckeyes at home against Bucky the Badger. Bucky's won the last three in the horseshoe. Kansas unbeaten, but Joe Gans having a big day, of course, and a top 25 showdown to update.
These aren't your wishbone running Huskers that your daddy remembers. These backs in Lincoln have to catch passes now.
I'll tell you what, those wishbone eye backs that I saw at Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, they were for real. Very tough to tackle. Johnny Rodgers, he's getting more passes than Johnny Rodgers. Johnny Rodgers was as good as it gets, won the Heisman Trophy. I think one of the top 25 players listed in football.
Yeah. That was a loss of 1 for Eugene on that last play. It'll bring up second down and 11. North Carolina State again with decent field position to start this drive at the 34-yard line, backed up a yard now to the 33. They want a timeout here to talk about something.
Well, it's a good return, and again, switching at fortunes. They miss a field goal, 3 plays. University of Miami goes for an 84-yard touchdown pass.
Now for up-to-the-minute news. Everything that is college sports, log on to ESPNU.com. This online service is a gateway to the best in college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news, scores, features, highlights, and more. If you don't have ESPNU, go to ESPNU.com, type in your zip code at the top of the page, or call your local cable operator or satellite provider. And if you don't have ESPNU by now, what the heck's the matter with you? Daniel Evans, offensive coordinator Dana Bible, says he is getting better, but more than anything, the people around him have gotten better. And the last couple of weeks, his numbers have started to reflect that. Not a great start here today for the NC State offense, but certainly this unit has seen encouraging signs in the last couple of weeks.
Well, they have, because they're going against a very fast and very experienced Miami defense, and first downs are critical, and they're really in this thing pretty good with just a 3-0 deficit. The big play, without question, hurt them, but they're not doing such a bad job today offensively.
2nd and 11, low snap. Evans brings it up, fires, caught by Blackman out to the 40. Nice run after the catch. He's got the first down, and he's piled under at the 47-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Blackman.
The Wolfpack went to an empty backfield. It confused the defense a little bit, and a nice job there again by Evans, just setting in and nice catch. And again, I really like what Blackman does. Watch him turn upfield and protect the football and make a first down. Again, they've really worked hard, the Wolfpack has, on protecting the football and not turning the ball over. They've done a good job of that thus far today.
The third play of 10 yards or more for NC State. They go back to the run. Nice spin by Eugene. first down and finally corralled at the 32-yard line by Kenny Phillips. But Jamel Eugene, he just keeps working, and finally he pops one every now and then.
Well, the coaches are saying about him in practice, he works extremely hard. And again, I think you can see that. He keeps working, as you say, Clay, working and working and working, and doesn't go down in protecting the football.
Boy, that's
nice
a nice
spin move. Yeah, really nice move there.
That looks like an upperclassman move. You'd never know he's just a sophomore and really getting his first playing time of his career here in the last few weeks. And now Evans doesn't like what he sees out of his formation, calls another quick timeout here.
I don't think they like that because they need to save those timeouts. They've wasted 2 now. They need to save those at the end of the half. They need to get points on the board, and they're a great opportunity to do that. They need to take advantage of their field position.
We're reminiscing about the Orange Bowl, as this is the second to last game here at the mighty storied Orange Bowl. All right, let's go back to 1984. Speaking of Nebraska, here's Howard Schnellenberger coaching against the great one Tom Osborne. And here's Turner Gill with under a minute to go. There's the option that Nebraska's been famous for over the years. They get the touchdown. Then they go for 2, and it fails. And Miami won its first national championship.
They
went great Orange Bowl memories.
Oh, that's a great football game. That Nebraska team, one of the greatest teams ever that did not win a national championship. Turner Gill, phenomenal quarterback. Mike Rozier won the Heisman Trophy that year. Just a great football team. And of course, Tom Osborne, a phenomenal football coach.
There were some great Nebraska-Miami battles in the 80s.
There really was. And you talk about the first national championship, Howard Schnellenberger's career here. That started it off really for this program, along with Nick Saban's recruiting before that. Or Lou Saban, excuse me.
Evans passes to Eugene. He makes the catch down to the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up second down at about 3. Well, North Carolina State is finally now starting to get some chunks of yardage with their offense. They have had 11 plays today that have been for no yards or less. They're finally starting to move the football. That pass thrown away by Evans. He was starting to get some pressure, and he felt the heat and got rid of it.
I think a little miscommunication there. His receiver stopped, and it was well covered. Really nothing in the flat to go with the football. And Evans really stared down that flat, allowed the Miami defensive backs to break on the flat very quickly.
Well, this offensive system is the same as what this staff ran at Boston College, so no surprise that the only team in the ACC that throws it more than North Carolina State is Boston College. And this is certainly a passing situation here on 3rd down and 4. Out of the gun, Evans. Got rid of it. Nice catch by Dunlap inside the 15. He's got a first down. That is why he is North Carolina State's leading receiver. A gain of 12 and a big first down.
A very big first down. Had it been a sack there, it would have put them out of field goal range. So I think that was a huge play for the Wolfpack. And again, a nice job by the front, the blocking of the offensive line for North Carolina State, and a good finish by John Dunlap. Again, they're in a great position to obviously score a touchdown here, but to get points on the board. That'll be huge if they can do that to end this half.
They've already missed a field goal attempt from 30 yards. They'd like to get 6 on this drive. Jamel Eugene, maybe a yard or 2.
They've got a lot of time left. Time's not an issue. They do have a timeout left, so I think they're in good position here.
I mentioned it earlier. This is really an amazing statistic. Miami has not allowed a point in the first half here at the Orange Bowl this season.
That is an amazing statistic, and they're in danger of losing that advantage on this drive.
Boston College, the last team to score in the first half. That was back in '06. Wide open, caught at the 5, still on his feet, into the end zone, a touchdown. Owen Spencer, the true freshman out of Leland, North Carolina. A 13-yard touchdown catch. And North Carolina State is back in this football game.
They're back in this football game. An excellent protection by the offensive line of the Wolfpack. You know, he has, I think, from Miami's standpoint, way too long to throw the football. Vegas, Franklin is really putting some pressure on, and really a good finish there.
Now they're going to review this to make sure that his knee wasn't down at the 1 before he lunged in.
A lot of patience by Daniel Evans on this last series.
Here's another look. Keep an eye on that right knee. Boy, I don't know. That's going to be close.
I think that's a touchdown. I think that's a touchdown. I don't think that'll be indisputable evidence that wasn't a touchdown.
Either way, it's going to be a good situation for North Carolina State, even if they were to spot it at the 6-inch line. But it appears to be the first touchdown of the year for Owen Spencer, capping an 8-play, 66-yard drive. And we talked about the prior North Carolina State drive being sustained and being real nice. This one was real good.
Well, an excellent drive. And from North Carolina State's perspective, you like to see that, especially after giving up a big play. You think they would be deflated to come back and have a drive like this. It's got to ignite the NC State defense and offense, and it's really been an outstanding drive. They've had 2 back-to-back good drives.
Owen Spencer, number 13, true freshman who has been with the team since enrolling in January. So he was fortunate enough to get in on spring practice. So even though he is a true freshman, he did get that luxury.
Well, that's something now that you see a lot more of. That graduating early, coming in for spring practice, and getting a chance to get a jump start, especially in your places where players go out early into the National Football League, and it allows for a young player to come in and have an opportunity to play.
After review, the call on the field is reversed. The ball carrier's knee was down. The ball was at the 1/2-yard line. It will be 1st and goal at the 1/2. Please set the game clock. 2 minutes, 23 seconds. 2-2-3.
That's unfortunate for Spencer. He wanted his first career touchdown. Not going to get it, but still a great situation here for NC State. They've got it. As you can see, right on the half-foot line. His knee was down. That's some great photography there.
That's tough. That's a tough call. A very close call.
1st down, goal to go at the 1. Eugene is the lone setback. Evans keeps it himself. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Well, the last 2 North Carolina State drives, 20 plays, 117 yards. Before that, they were doing absolutely nothing with the football. They have turned it around.
Well, anytime you play on the road, confidence is such a key, and I think the North Carolina State team has a lot more confidence, and they should have. They've been very impressive, and you mentioned about the Miami defense have not allowed a point in the first half at home this year. Now they have, and I think it's something that they'll build on. The North Carolina State team will build on at halftime, and something I think the Miami team will really attack their defensive team.
Stephen Hauschka with the extra point. And again, North Carolina State back in this football game. 10-7. There's a look at the scoring drive. 9 plays, 66 yards. It looked like Owen Spencer, I should say, but Daniel Evans actually caps that drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. A little over 2 minutes to go here before half. Well, college football on ESPNU continues this afternoon as the Terrapins take on the Tar Heels. Maryland and North Carolina coming your way. It's coming up at 3:45 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Ralph Friedgen has never lost to North Carolina while the head coach in Maryland.
Wow. That's pretty astounding right there.
ACC standings. You can see it's been a tough year for NC State and Miami. Despite those losses to Georgia Tech and North Carolina, well, they're sitting about as good as they could ask for after losses like that. They still control their own destiny. They still could win the Coastal Division.
I think after their loss to North Carolina and to Georgia Tech at home, I think if you would have told them that they should have a chance to win their division and go to Jacksonville and play for the championship, they would have been elated to hear that news. And maybe a little surprised.
That's a promising scenario, considering everything that's happened to this Miami team. Ryan Hill and Bruce Johnson are back to return this kick from Hauschka. Hauschka's probably still kicking himself for missing that field goal from 30 yards out earlier. We told you before he hadn't missed a kick all season. Otherwise, this game would be tied. This one goes through the back of the end zone, and North Carolina State is going to put Miami at the 20-yard line.
Hauschka's pretty smooth as a kicker. Looks very confident. You can see why he's very accurate with his kicks, and I'm sure he made the adjustment on the missed kick and hopes he gets another opportunity.
Now, coming up the half on Sports Center U with Mike Gleason and Steve Israel. The buck stops in Columbus. We'll see if Ohio State can stay undefeated. Kansas, well, they remain perfect and a top 25 showdown. That's all coming up. Steve Israel, Mike Gleason on Sports Center U at the half. Here's Miami on first down, running the football. This is Duron Thomas. Of course, Thomas had that big run of 54 yards in the first quarter.
That's Duron Thomas. I don't think Duron is their best every down back, but explosive big play back, third down back. He has outstanding skills.
Andy Shannon on the sideline. What is in his mind here with a minute and a half to go before half? Does he stay aggressive?
Well, he's got 3 timeouts, and I think he needs to stay aggressive and to get some confidence in his offensive unit.
Penalty flag down. Getting back to the original line of scrimmage is the running back.
I think the crowd wants him to stay aggressive. What do you think, Clay?
No doubt. We're hearing boos here. He is keeping it on the ground. Penalty flag down. We'll see what happened here. This is going to go against North Carolina State. That will help Miami's cause.
Well, again, they have a lot of opportunities. They have a minute 22,
Offside.
a lot of time.
Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty, 3-minute second down.
That's the defensive tackle, DeMario Presley.
Outstanding football player. Presley's he's an all ACC type player. Again, Miami has all their timeouts left. I think if they make a first down, I think you would see them go into their 2-minute offensive drill. No huddle situation.
Clock moving, a minute and 10 to go before half. Second down and 5. Again they run, and again it's Thomas, and again not a lot of operating. And Willie Young there to wrap him up. It's a loss of 1, and there come the boos again. I'll tell you what, this Miami crowd can be unforgiving at times, Coach, and I hate to say it, but I know you know that.
Well, I don't think they ever booed me. Well, maybe they did. Maybe they did some, but when you're coaching, you don't hear it as much. But you hate it for the players. But again, I think Miami's offense needs to do something to get this crowd into it, but more importantly, to get themselves into it.
So that's the real reason coaches wear headsets.
That's exactly right.
Third down and 6.
Mine wasn't even hooked up.
Pass is short. Penalty flag came in. Lance Leggett down the sideline was interfered with, and this is going to help Miami huge. And North Carolina State with a big mistake here with 25 seconds to go before the half.
Lance Leggett, you can see Lance limping back to the huddle. Lance says,
whoa, it's going to go against Miami. Wow, they're going to call Leggett.
Well, going over the top, I guess. I think Leggett, he's been injured. He's had a problem with the foot.
It's interference. Number 9 of the offense. Penalties declined. 4th down.
So now the Hurricanes will have to punt.
Well, I don't think you'll see a fake punt. Yeah, going over the top. You have to, really, once the ball is in the air, both players have an opportunity to make the catch, and Leggett coming over the top. Good call by the official.
That was number 21, DeAndre Morgan, who got burned on that long pass play that Darnell Jenkins scored on earlier in the half. Was in the right spot defensively that time. This one is going to bounce at the 32. Blackman lets it roll. And North Carolina State may have time for one play here before the end of the half.
I think they'll just take a knee here. I don't think they'll want to risk any turnover here.
56-yard punt for Bosher. That was his 4th punt of the day.
Matt Bosher was the top kicker in America when he came out, and kicker punter. He struggled some this year, but he'll have a great career here before he leaves. An outstanding student and a very competitive, very poised young man.
He has kind of turned it around the last couple of weeks. Against Florida State, he had 4 kicks for 46 yards on average, and that was his best game of the season.
Well, he has. I think also he's really a strong kicker, has great range as a kicker. But Darren Daly has done a good job with the extra points and field goals.
And they're going to run a play. It's Curtis Underwood.
I'm a little surprised the handoff here. Why would you hand off? Just take a knee. There's so much more risk on a handoff, the ball coming loose or forcing a fumble. Just take a knee.
Yeah. So Miami and North Carolina State with a defensive struggle in that first half. It's 10-7. Let's go to Mike Gleason and Steve Israel with SportsCenter at the half. Like I said, a missed field goal away from this being tied.
Well, it really is. I think Miami right now is not playing with a lot of emotion. They're a little bit flat. I think NC State is staying in the football game, which they want to do. They've got some young players. They're going to have to do some recruiting to get to the level where they can compete with the Miami, but they're doing a great job today. Miami's got to turn it on. They've got to feed off some energy and get this thing going in their favor.
It really doesn't have a homecoming atmosphere for some reason. It is homecoming for the Miami Hurricanes, but you'd really never know it by the field here at the Orange Bowl. We're underway here in the second half.
Yeah, a very sterile field right now as far as the Orange Bowl is concerned.
Darrell Blackman, he's a good return man for the Wolfpack. He's got a good return here. His speed comes out over the 30, and he's going to be down at the 34-yard line. That's where North Carolina will stay after that 33-yard return. First half stats brought to you by Oxy, and you can see that, just like you said, nothing great for either side. The 84 passing yards for Miami came on one play.
Well, yeah, I think Kirby was 1 for 9 passing. I think the thing you see first downs, only 4 first downs, the 1 turnover, the interception, and they've got to play better. Offensively, they've got to play much, much better, and they can.
Daniel Evans was 9 of 16 throwing the football in the first half. He's going to hand off here to Jamel Eugene, who had 52 rushing yards in the first half.
Well, you see NC State making positive yards, and I think that's the important thing. They're keeping the ball. They're not turning the ball over. They're making positive plays. They avoid the penalties. Again, they have an opportunity to make some first downs. Plus, a great return by Blackman to give them outstanding field position.
North Carolina State in that first half, Larry, really didn't take advantage of the good field position they were given. This is the 7th time their drive has started at the 30 or better. Eugene wants to get it to the outside, try to cut around that corner on the right side. Got it to the 40 before Vegas Franklin, who got the start today at the left end position, brings him down. It's a gain of 3.
Well, the NC State offensive line is doing a good job. Again, the Miami defense is very fast. Vegas Franklin especially is an undersized defensive lineman, but he has great speed. One of the top sack leaders on this Miami defense.
North Carolina State offense 4 for 9 today on 3rd downs. Let's see if they can convert here. Evans throws it out. It's caught and enough for the first down and a little bit more for Donald Bowens. And North Carolina State picking up here in the 3rd quarter where they left off at the end of the 2nd half when they finally started to put it together offensively and move the football.
Well, I think you see again with Evans getting some confidence, safety blitz, and a good break off by Bowens. And again, you saw that pass was right on the money, catchable. It wasn't some of the throws that we saw in the first half were off out of his reach. A good throw, good catch, first down by the Wolfpack.
First reception today for Bowens. He's good buddies with the Miami linebacker Colin McCarthy. They played AAU basketball together.
Well, I recruited McCarthy. I don't really see him as being a basketball player. That surprised me. I know this. He's an outstanding football player. I think he chose the right sport, Clay.
Yeah, he probably did. I'll tell you this. Looking at McCarthy, though, you can tell he's an athlete. I don't care what sport he's playing. I'm taking McCarthy on my team.
Well, I think you're exactly right. There was a car accident coming back over the summer, and Colin McCarthy was in that accident. Highly recruited freshman quarterback Robert Marv was also in that accident. And fortunately, they weren't injured seriously.
McCarthy out of Clearwater, Florida. Donald Bowens out of St. Pete, Florida.
I want to see McCarthy play basketball. I'm not really believing that yet.
You don't think he has hops?
You're right, though. He is an outstanding athlete.
Evans deep down the middle of the field. It a little bit underthrown and almost picked off. Glenn Sharp for the 2nd time today makes a nice play. Now here's a look at McCarthy and Bowens in their basketball getup. And again, McCarthy is pretty cut too.
Well, they've both been in the weight room. That's pretty obvious. And yeah, they're both outstanding players. And I think Colin McCarthy is a great signee for Miami. He's going to have a great career here and probably years after that in the National Football League.
3rd down and 9 coming up here for North Carolina State. Ball at the 49 of Miami territory. Tavares Gooden trying to get this crowd into it. Evans over the middle, has it caught by John Dunlap, and he's got enough for the 1st down.
Well, Calais Campbell, the great defensive end from Miami, is projected to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. They've done a good job on him. He's been very quiet today, and I think a lot of that goes to the credit of Daniel Evans getting the quick release and getting the ball released.
5th catch today for Dunlap. He now has 38 yards receiving as you take a look at Calais Campbell, and you're right, he hasn't gotten the kind of pressure not only this game but throughout the season that Miami would like.
Exactly.
Turns, goes to Eugene, and maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. And that's not that Campbell doesn't have the ability to get to the quarterback, but you got to think that he's getting a lot of extra attention this year because of what he did last year as a sophomore.
Well, exactly right. When you have a player of that caliber, you really find ways to help, to block. You have running backs that will chip them. You have help with defensive linemen. Bring the tight end to that side. There's several things you can do to help neutralize a player like Calais Campbell.
His younger brother Jared is a freshman defensive back. 8th play of the drive for NC State. And that's Jamel Eugene inside the 35-yard line. Let's go to the studio and Mike Gleason.
Number 1, Ohio State at home against the Badgers, and they had their hands full with Bucky.
Yeah, Tyler Donovan under pressure all day. This time they lose the pressure. Looks downfield to back up in the end zone. Who? TD. Trevor Beckham, his big-time tight end.
Joe Gans, Nebraska, Kansas. Gans, the backup quarterback, trying to play the hero. They're down. Maurice Purify, touchdown, 34-21. Kansas has just scored. 8.5 to go.
That's it. Back and forth game between Nebraska and Kansas today. Evans should have been caught. That should have been caught there by Blackman, and it would have been enough for the 1st down.
That's the 2nd time that North Carolina State has gone to the empty backfield, and it really has caused Miami some problems in matching up. And exactly right, that was a good route, a good throw. Again, just got to make that catch. You can see there, time, good blocking. You're not going to throw it any better than that. You've got to make those plays. If you're going to win on the road, you've got to make those catches.
North Carolina State going for it on 4th down. They are 4 for 11 this season on 4th down. Deep ball, well out of bounds. The intended receiver was Jarvis Williams, the redshirt freshman, but that ball was well overthrown, out of play.
Well, not a very good attempt. The ball's thrown out of bounds, just a long incompletion, and especially on a 4th down play, you'd like to have at least an opportunity to make a play. And even an interception would have been better for NC State if they could make the tackle. And you can see here the protection is outstanding. Again, here the ball is thrown out of bounds, no chance to make a play, and really that's really a poor 4th down opportunity by the Wolfpack.
Miami gets his best field position of the day. They start this drive at their own 35. Play action, Kirby Freeman. Poor throwing the football in the 1st half. We'll see what he can do on this attempt. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver and picked off by DeJuan Morgan. His 2nd interception of the year and his 2nd in as many games. Boy, Freeman has had a tough day throwing the football, and his 1st attempt of the 2nd half is picked off.
Well, everything's out of control and really out of rhythm. Again, it's really a pretty decent throw, but the ball is tipped, and normally when you have tipped footballs, they have an opportunity to be intercepted. Richard Gordon's got to make that catch or at least knock the football down.
2nd Wolfpack interception here today. This play looks like it's going to be reviewed.
It's under review.
What are they going to look at?
Well, they're going to look to see if the ball was cleanly caught before it hit the ground. Right.
Well, in full speed, it looked like he had it, no problem, but maybe we missed something. We'll find out when we come back. 10:43 to go in the 3rd. You bet. Well, the play on the field was confirmed. DeJuan Morgan's interception is going to stand, his 2nd of the year. Now, North Carolina State, we said they had some problems in the secondary, but they got things worked out during their bye week about 3 weeks ago. The team has only 7 picks this season, but 5 have come in the last 3 games, including 2 today.
Well, that's huge plays for them. Again, turnovers. And
now that one was almost picked off, but it lands incomplete. Penalty marker down on the play. Chavez Grant, number 24, almost came up with it.
Again, the ball's tipped and probably should have been intercepted. Definitely good effort by Chavez Grant, but again, normally tipped balls, they're going to be intercepted.
Pass interference, number 52 of the defense. It's a spot foul, automatic first down.
That's going to go against Tavares Gooden, the middle linebacker for Miami. He has played very well this year, leads the team in tackles, has an interception, 3 fumble recoveries. But Miami's flagged there for their second penalty.
Well, it was an underneath route, and Tavares held him as he came underneath.
Eugene on the run. Short gain. Chavez Grant making the stop. Now Grant is the nickelback today. There have been some injuries in that secondary for Miami. Carlos Armour out of the lineup. So Grant getting a little more work today. DeMarcus Van Dyke also playing a little bit more today for Miami.
DeMarcus Van Dyke, a very talented player, but a true freshman.
North Carolina State trying to take advantage of the Miami turnover. Evans deep downfield, and he has not looked in sync with any of his receivers on deep balls here today. Let's go to the studio and Mike.
Clay, we showed you the return by C.J. Spiller, the Clemson Tigers. Here's his buddy James Davis now.
Yes, the thunder strikes. James Davis gets a great block on the right side, shoots up the sideline, showing his speed. Touchdown for Davis.
33-7 Tigers, Clay.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. And a lot of people are saying Clemson better watch out today. Looks like they heeded that advice.
They've had a tough time with Duke over the years.
Evans throws it out, has a receiver. It is caught and then ripped down. Well, that was Donald Bowens, and he was punished after the catch. Little or no gain on that play. As stepping up, DeMarcus Van Dyke, you were just talking about him, Coach. The freshman made a big tackle there in the open field.
Now, DeMarcus Van Dyke's a very talented corner, and they felt like he might get playing down as a freshman. A nice job going for the ball, but also a nice job securing the tackle and not allowing run after catch.
So North Carolina State punting here on 4th down. It is Pearson trying to pin Miami deep, and they may have done it. At the 1, it is touched, and Miami will have its back up against the wall. Oh, no, they got it. Touchback. That was a 46-yard punt. It looked like they kept it out, but it didn't happen.
No, it didn't look like it at all.
So we're going to take a break. Miami will have it at the 20 when we come back. 9:12 to go in the 3rd. ESPNU College Football, presented by Allstate, is brought to you by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. Speaking of wild, Larry Coker was water skiing behind that boat before the game.
I wish.
Wild and crazy guy. Larry Coker, Clay Matvick back at the Orange Bowl. Handoff here to Javaris James on 1st down. The Canes starting at their own 20 here today. Quite a few times to start this drive. Bring up 2nd down and 7. Donald Bowens just moments ago was running off for North Carolina State into the tunnel, and we don't know why, but we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if he comes back. Certainly if they're without him in their arsenal, they're a lesser offense.
No doubt about it. But it was good to see him running off and not just being carried off. So that's a good sign. Javaris James back in the game now. He's probably more durable every down runner.
On 2nd down and 7, they're going to run again. And that looks like that might be close to another 1st down there for Miami. And they needed one. Javaris James did pick up the 1st down. That's just their 2nd 1st down in the last 18 offensive plays. And now a player down for North Carolina State. It looks like Javon Walker.
It's like Javaris James is a little bit hobble too. He's shaking off his ankle. Looks like he's been might have tweaked it a little bit. Is that a word, tweak?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he tweaked it a little bit.
Might even be in the dictionary. There are a lot of words that we use in sports that I don't know if they're necessarily good English words, but they get used. The one that I like is escapability.
Escapability. I think, you know what, I think that may be one in there.
That's 2 words that's become one. Now, Javon Walker is off the field, and we'll see if Miami can take advantage of another non-starter in the defensive secondary for North Carolina State. It's Darnell Jenkins on the little end around. Gets it out close to the 40-yard line, brought down, it looks at the 37. That's going to be a gain of 7 on the play. We have seen that play quite a few times from Darnell Jenkins today, about 3 or 4.
Yeah, we have. The difference is he's making positive yards. Early in the game, we saw those type plays. They're going from -4, -6, -8. That went for what, +7, and a much different play. It makes the defense more sound. It makes them have to cover the field.
Look at the total yards, fairly even. Nice change of direction. That's Javaris James into North Carolina State territory. A little shimmy there, and he broke loose, a gain of 15. Let's check in with Mike.
And hold on to your seats. So, #1 Ohio State. Wisconsin trying to make it 4 straight over the Buckeyes in the horseshoe.
Yeah, Tyler Donovan doing a great job throwing the ball today. Finds his fullback, Chris Presley, for the touchdown.
17-10. Donovan, 11 of 14, guys.
Wow. And this is without a healthy P.J. Hill. I mean, why not? Why shouldn't the #1 team in the nation go down this week? It's been that kind of year in college football.
Well, I said the national championship game may have 2 one-loss teams in it. That very well may be possible.
This is James again inside the 45. And that's a 4-yard gain for James. Now, James, not a true speed guy, but he works real hard on catching passes and blocking and doing some of the other things. Plus, he's got so many intangibles that this team likes. He's really a leader for this team, even though he's a sophomore.
I tell you, he's a guy, even on a recruiting visit, the players gravitated toward Javaris James. He had a maturity about him. And I know I was supposed to meet with him in my office. He said, "Coach, I don't need to do that. I know who you are." And he went home. But he knew he was coming to Miami.
Here's a handoff to the fullback, Jarrell Mabry, and he breaks loose to the 25. Boy, Mabry doesn't carry the ball much, but when he does, he is so big and hard to tackle. And you can see there, they just couldn't get their arms around.
No, he may have hyperventilated on that play, because that's probably the longest play a fullback's made in years. But nice job, nice blocking.
It's like trying to bring down a dump truck. A gain of 17 for Mabry.
That's nice block by Orlando Franklin, a true freshman offensive lineman that was signed last year, just became eligible this year.
Going to go back to James behind that lead block of Mabry. And he's going to be down at about the 22-yard line before the strong side linebacker, Nate Irving, makes the tackle. We've seen the fullback in this Miami offense the last couple of games get involved. Dedrick Epps, who's a fullback, caught the go-ahead touchdown against Florida State a couple of weeks ago, and then that big run by Mabry.
Well, it is. Epps is a different type player because he's an H-back, fullback type player. I think Mabry's more of a true fullback type player, but I think you can see Javaris James now really having the positive plays. I think the offensive line is really starting to take charge of this thing and establish themselves.
Well, Freeman's had his troubles throwing the football today, so the Miami offensive coordinator Patrick Nix has decided we're going to run it at North Carolina State. And Javaris James gets another carry. Not a lot of room to run there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and fairly long, but that was the 8th play of the drive, all of them on the ground.
Well, again, he's throwing the ball. He's tossing it right and tossing it left to Javaris James, and that's a good approach. That's something that's been successful for him in this drive, and now they're at least in field goal position. They want to, of course, get a touchdown off this drive.
Freeman getting the start for an injured Kyle Wright, who suffered a high ankle sprain and a sore left knee during that Florida State game. Wright tried to practice this week and just really couldn't give it 100%.
Well, a high ankle sprain is one of those that takes a long time to get well.
Now Freeman does want to throw. He is being chased. And chased hard from behind by Nate Irving. Got it away. And he's out of bounds. 4:34 to go here in the third quarter. And now Miami's going to walk on the punting unit, or excuse me, the field goal unit.
Well, you can see again they're running the naked bootleg on the third down calls. The one was for the long touchdowns, but nothing else has been successful as far as the naked bootlegs are concerned. Freeman's run some, and that's what he can do. He can improvise and did then, but of course well short of the first down.
So Darren Daly, already with a field goal made today, is going to attempt from 41. It's on the way. It is long enough, and it is no good. So Darren Daly misses from 41, and this game stays 10-7. Field goals have been an important part of today's game.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch. Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Excuse me, Poppy. Hey, what's up? I know you're busy. Love to meet my family. Sure. Big Sox fans. My dad, Ed.
Hi, Ed. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Mom, Mary.
Hi, Mary. It's a pleasure.
And that's my little sis, Christine.
Christine.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks. Thanks, Poppy. Nice meeting you. Let's go look at the studio.
To feel the emotions of the movies the way filmmakers intend, you need lifelike surround sound. Presenting the Lifestyle 48 DVD home entertainment system, one of the new premium home theater solutions from Bose. The original has been called Home Entertainment Perfection.
The surround sound is just fantastic.
Room size, shape, and furnishings can significantly affect the sound from any system. The Bose Adapt IQ system addresses this problem to bring lifelike sound to any room.
It makes it feel like you're at the game.
Hear the difference Bose technology makes. Call for a free information kit to learn about our selection of premium lifestyle home theater systems and the unique benefits of the new Lifestyle V30 system. Purchase a lifestyle system today and Bose will even ship it to you free. Lifestyle home theater systems, only from Bose, the most respected name in sound.
There's Darren Daly. He has a make of 22 and a miss just recently of 41 yards. It stays 10-7 Miami. Now keep in mind, Stephen Hauschka in the second quarter missed a big field goal. I mean, it's big now because it would mean a tie game. That one was from 29 yards out. We'll see how important that miss is as this game wears on. Pass incomplete to Stone. Marcus Stone, the tight end, couldn't get his hands up underneath that pass.
Well, and Daniel Evans has got to set his feet. He's starting to drift a little bit. When he drifts, the ball tends to drift. So fundamentally, other than Brett Favre, I don't know too many people that can throw and move like that without setting their feet.
Now Daniel Evans, the last few weeks, has been really good as the game has worn on, especially in the fourth quarter the last couple of weeks. We'll see as this game gets long in the tooth how Evans does throwing the football. Cox fires. Boy, that one should have been caught by Dunlap, and that's a pass you don't expect a guy like Dunlap to drop, but he did. Let's go to the studio and Mike.
Well, Clay, in recent years, Vandy's given Florida all they can handle, but it's all Gators in Gainesville today.
Yeah, Tim Tebow finding all of his weapons. This time he hits Andre Caldwell on a post route, wide open for the touchdown.
So right now the Gators in a cakewalk, 35-7. And look at Georgia, number 10. They're tied with Troy. Mentioned earlier, Troy's only 2 losses to SEC schools. They're deadlocked with the Dogs.
Yeah, how about Troy? They lead that Sun Belt Conference. They are no joke.
We've played Troy before here, and they're an outstanding program.
Pass is caught out to the 30-yard line on third down, but it's not enough. And it's going to bring up 4th and 4. And North Carolina State will have to punt.
We played Troy here the year we won the national championship, and we were ahead 10-0 at the half. It was a battle for the entire game. We finally broke it open. Troy dominated Oklahoma State just a few weeks ago. Oklahoma State's beaten A&M, and excuse me, it's beaten Nebraska pretty well.
Georgia maybe taking them a little lightly coming into the game. There's a punt. And a fair catch called for at the 39 by Chavez Grant. So Miami will set up there. College football on ESPNU continuing tonight with a couple of games. First at 7:15 Eastern. This is going to be good. Ray Rice and Rutgers taking on the UConn Huskies, number 13 in the country. Then at 10:30, Jackson State and Alabama A&M. Saturday primetime college football presented by Citi here on ESPNU. How about UConn? Undefeated in the league, and they just find ways to win games.
Well, Randy Edsall's done a great job there. And I tell you, Ray Rice, if I were in a 4-minute offense, I didn't need to score touchdowns, just wanted to use the clock. Ray Rice is my guy.
Greg Cooper getting the handoff straight ahead. Back to the 40-yard line, a gain of 1. And UConn still has West Virginia on the schedule. So that's going to be a big game coming up. But UConn appears to be for real. I know that everyone looks at that Louisville game and saw that as a fluke, but they bounced right back the next week and won another big.
Well, they have. They beat to South Florida, and I think this West Virginia, I think, is for real. I think, of course, the running back and quarterback Patrick White at the West Virginia, they're as good as you see in the country.
10 straight running plays for Miami, and they're going to run again. And this time, Greg Cooper tries to find some running room along the left side. Ted Larson pulls him down after a 3-yard gain.
And all the passing plays for Miami have been with Freeman on the bootlegs, rolling out, single receiver routes. One worked out well for a long touchdown. The others have not been very productive.
Just a look at Randy Shannon. They have really simplified this offense in this game. A lot of running the football. Patrick Nix is the first-year offensive coordinator under Shannon, one of 5 new coaches on the staff here at Miami. This is a passing situation on 3rd down and 6. We'll see what they can do. They actually want to run again. It's Jenkins. Jenkins breaking free inside the 30 to the 20 and pulled out of bounds from behind inside the 15-yard line. Darnell Jenkins, that is about the 5th time we have seen him run that play. This is the biggest run of his day, 39 yards.
Well, that's a great explosive run. You can see the talent of Darnell Jenkins. Again, probably should have been tackled. I think you can see his speed. Again, good job by Cooper downfield. Close to breaking it all the way. Again, good effort by the NC State defense, keeping from scoring a long touchdown run.
They're going to mark it back at the 18. They're going to say that's where he stepped out of bounds. But Jenkins now 6 carries for 46 yards, and he's a wide receiver.
He's a wide receiver, yes. Of course, caught the long touchdown pass from Freeman. He's been really the offensive spark that they've had today.
Freeman, a little bootleg out to the right, and keep it himself, and a gain of about 1.5 yards.
I think that was a broken play. I don't think he wanted to keep that one. I think he just made something out of nothing there. And, I think the running back went the wrong way.
Freeman is a little bit more of a run-oriented quarterback than Wright, but like you said, that probably wasn't by design.
No, that wasn't by design, but you're right. He definitely is more a run-oriented quarterback than Wright. There was a game in Texas that he rushed for nearly 200 yards in a game, so he can run the football.
Get you an update on that Ohio State game with Mike Gleason coming up in just a bit. 2nd down and 9. Misdirection there. Greg Cooper, nowhere to go. 3rd down coming up. Let's check in with Glee.
Well, Clay, perfect timing because the Buckeyes have come back and they've tied it up.
Yes, the Buckeyes showing you just how strong their offensive line is. Great blocking up front after they push guys, move them out, plow them out of the way for Chris Wells as he hits the left sideline for the touchdown.
Tied at 17, Todd Reesing and Desmond Briscoe team up. Now, they missed the extra point as Kansas scored again 48 points. If it had been 49, it'd be the most Nebraska has allowed in the first half in the history of their program, Clay.
Thanks, guys. Well, for right now, Callahan still has a job, but a lot of people throwing things out in that rumor mill is churning right now. Deep to the end zone. It is caught, but it appears that he's out of bounds. Darnell Jenkins in the corner of the end zone. And Kirby Freeman found him, but it's incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th and 8, and we'll see what Randy decides to do here.
Well, I think he's going to go for kick a field goal, but that's a great route by Darnell Jenkins, a post corner route. He gets the cornerback on his back hip. Just a phenomenal catch.
Just the second pass attempted by Miami this year, and they're going to replay this one. You know what? He may have drug a foot and kept it in bounds.
I think if they didn't replay it, I think if I were Randy Shannon, you have one call that you can make them replay, and I think that would be the one you would make. And I'm like you. I think he may have gotten a foot down in bounds.
Well, you've said it. Jenkins has been the spark today. He's got it now.
I mean, that's I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't see the foot coming down.
Maybe this angle will give it
a great
more
throw.
Clarity. Boy, I don't know. That looks like it might be a touchdown. His left toe dragging in bounds.
Let's see what his right foot. Let's see if it's out first, though. Yeah, I'll tell you, that's a tough call there, even with the replay. That may be a touchdown. Yeah, it has to be indisputable video evidence. And
Jenkins already with a touchdown catch today from 84 yards out. It was the signature play of that first half. If he makes this touchdown, if it's ruled a touchdown, it would be the signature play of this game.
Yeah, he's been the spark. He has been. He is the offense of the first half. There's like a clean catch. You can't tell there, but I think he does have the ball cleanly fielded if the ball's in if the foot touches before he goes out.
We've got an ACC crew today. Obviously, our referee is Tom McCreesh, and this is going to be a huge call when he gets on the microphone. Taking their time, they want to get it right. Darnell Jenkins, the senior out of Miami, Florida, has been an offensive weapon today, running the football and also catching passes.
No, Darnell Jenkins is healthy. He's really done a good job. Again, as I said earlier, he's already graduated from the University of Miami. I'm really proud to see the career Darnell Jenkins has had, and may have an opportunity to play at the next level.
Leading the team with an average of 21 yards per catch. He is really their biggest big play guy.
Well, you can see the speed he has on the touchdown catch, running away from people.
After review, the play stands as called on the field. Incomplete pass. 4th down.
There just wasn't enough evidence.
No, I'll tell you, that's a tough call, because from our vantage point here, I couldn't really tell whether he was in or out, but I know he had the ball fielded cleanly, but did he get the foot down? Apparently the official said there wasn't enough evidence to overrule it.
So now Daly is on from 33 yards out. He's got a make and a miss. This is an important kick, and it's good. So Daly with a make of 22, and now from 33 gives Miami a little more breathing room. It's 13-7. 6-point lead with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go in the third quarter. They would have liked 6, but at least they got some points on the board.
Well, I think it's good for Miami, but especially good for NC State also. They're still within one score of tying the game or going ahead in the game, so it's kind of a win-win for both sides, but especially for NC State here to keep Miami out of the end zone. And a huge call. That call could have gone the other way. It could have gone has been overturned and ruled a touchdown, but there was no indisputable evidence that it was a catch and he was in bounds.
7 plays, 45 yards on that drive for Miami, covering 2 minutes and 33 seconds. And again, they moved the ball by running the football. Yeah, they almost got a touchdown on that pass, which was ruled incomplete, but they have definitely gone to the running game here.
I think what you're going to see, you're going to continue to see that throughout this game. I think you'll see Miami take some shots down the field, but I don't think you'll see a lot of drop back passing. I think it's going to really be spoon-fed for Kirby and really try to prevent any mistakes.
Is that because what they see in the North Carolina State defense, or because they just don't have a lot of confidence in Freeman right now?
Well, I think they know that they can have, I feel like they have a good chance to win the football game if they don't give the football game away. More games are lost rather than won, and I think a little bit both. I don't think they want Kirby Freeman out throwing the football to win this football game.
So North Carolina State has Darrell Blackman, And Donald Bowens back deep. That's a good sign to see Bowens back in this football game, as he did leave earlier. Went into the locker room. We don't know why, but he is back now. He is going to throw the lead block here for Blackman. 15, 20, 25, 30. Has some running room along the near sideline, and the kicker knocks him out at the 45. Penalty flag is down. Darrell Blackman pretty happy with that return, but we'll see if there was a holding or a block in the back. A 43-yard return for Blackman.
I believe they're going to bring this one back for a block in the back.
Well, boy, penalties starting to add up now for North Carolina State. That is their 7th today, 45 yards against.
And that's really atypical of Tom O'Brien's teams. They don't usually penalize themselves very much, and they don't have any penalties.
Holding. Going to return. Number 16. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
Now, Darrell Blackman, we told you about his return yardage. One of the best return men in the ACC. And that would have helped his average, but it's called back. So now North Carolina State has to start at the 19. They've had great field position today. This is their worst field position of the contest. Under center is Evans, and this place is amplified. 3-step drop over the middle, has a man, but it's overthrown. Let's go to Mike Gleason.
Clay, of course, you know Wake Forest with that 6-game winning streak, but it's on the line against Virginia. They trail until Riley Skinner takes care of that. Yes,
he finds his Mr. Do-Everything, Kenneth Moore. Asks him to run it. This time he's receiving it. Great catch in the end zone.
13-10 Wake.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. North Carolina State ended the Cavaliers' 7-game win streak last week. Wake trying to win its 7th in a row today. Second down and 10. Ball at the 19. Out of the gun is Evans. Inside look to Jamel Eugene. Finds some running room. Has it up for the first down out over the 30-yard line. Down at the 32. Eugene for 12.
Well, the NC State defense, they're trying to the offense, excuse me, they're trying to slow down the Miami defense. A lot of speed coming upfield by Miami. The draw play, really a nice call and really nice execution by Eugene.
Just look at the play selection. You can see that Miami has completely gone to the run game. It's been a real balanced attack for NC State.
Well, they've thrown the ball quite a bit. They haven't thrown the completions that they're going to need to throw to win the football game. But I think Miami's made them throw the football by their structure.
3-receiver look. Evans wants to throw. 28th pass of the game. Man wide open. It's Blackman. Caught it at the 37. On his feet to the 15 and pushed out of bounds at the 11 by Kenny Phillips.
I've really been impressed by the protection that NC State has given their quarterback Evans. I think you can see that he's getting hit, but the protection is pretty good. A nice rhythm by Evans.
That is a gain of 55 yards. Blackman, along with Dunlap, considered the go-to receiver. He's got the athletic ability after the catch to do big things, and he did it there. They go back to Eugene, and he is snuffed out immediately. Shooting in, Taraz McCray, the defensive tackle, maybe a little undersized for what you'd expect at that position. 6'1", about 280 pounds, but he's very effective as a run stopper, and it's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. That's going to do it for the third quarter. Well, Miami getting a field goal in the third to increase their lead to 6, 13-7 on homecoming. Second to last game at the Orange Bowl for the Hurricanes. Come on back. This game is still in the balance.
ESPN.
Ready to start quarter number 4. Miami 13, North Carolina State 7. This is a big game for Miami. They control their own destiny in the ACC conference. In fact, they can win the Coastal Division if they win out. And they've got some big games ahead. In fact, they only have ranked teams remaining, but they can't afford a trip up here against unranked NC State. And they're in a battle here with this team.
They're in a battle, and they have to win this game.
On second down, the pass is short, and it is caught by Dunlap. But it's going to bring up third and very long here.
We had a blitz adjustment that time. Dunlap adjusts to it. You like to make that catch and be able to have some run after catch, but a nice catch, but no ability to run after the catch because of the low throw.
See, Miami hasn't helped their cause with a couple of turnovers today. That's why they've basically abandoned the pass. Out of the gun, Evans on 3rd and 13, going to the end zone, and incomplete. The receiver, Darrell Davis, the true freshman, kind of turned around on that play, but great coverage in the secondary by Kenny Phillips.
Kenny Phillips is an outstanding tackler, one of the leading tacklers on the team. But more than that, he's an athlete. He's got quarterback skills, but plays safety and great coverage skills.
Miami has only lost 6 games since 1985 when leading after 3 quarters. See what happens the rest of the way here. Setting up for a field goal from 31 is Hauschka. He's already missed today from 29. This is huge. The spot, the kick, and it is good. So Stephen Hauschka redeems himself and brings the Pack to within 3. A lot of game to be played here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. 14-17 to go, and we've got a 3-point tilt.
Honey, what do you say we invite my parents to visit for the holidays?
Yes!
Great. Maybe we can fix up the house some.
All right!
Yeah, a new vanity in the guest bathroom, a new chandelier, new area rug, and maybe we can paint the walls a nice ochre.
Oh, come on!
Okay, it doesn't have to be ochre.
This year, you can create a warmer, more inviting home for your holiday guests. Get started now at the Home Depot.
Going to Home Depot.
Go, 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 go!
The new...
Now, so Georgia with a scare for a while, now starting to open it up, but still a lot of football to be played there.
Troy is an outstanding program. They do a great job. And Larry Blakeney, their head football coach, he's been around a little bit. He can coach some football. They'll be motivated, and they'll play the best.
Now, these two teams that we're watching today at the Orange Bowl better be motivated for the final 14-17, because anything could happen in this one. We are in a 3-point game, 13-10 after that field goal by Hauschka. Hold the Wolfpack to within 3 again.
Well, I think so, and you're exactly right. A 3-point game, a tie game. Game could go into overtime. There's a lot of things can happen in the next 14 minutes and 17 seconds. It's still anybody's game.
Hill and Johnson back to return for Miami, and Hauschka kicks it deep, and this is going to go through the end zone, and Miami will start first down and 10 at the 20. And it's homecoming weekend here at Miami. 8 new members of the Miami Sports Hall of Fame inducted this weekend. One of them, Randall "Thrill" Hill, wide receiver for those teams in the late 80s that helped win a couple of national championships. Randall, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm hanging. It's nice and hot down here, and it feels good.
I don't know. I was told that this is a cool front that's moved in here. It feels real good.
Kind of, but it's hot down here on this field, though.
Congratulations on your honor, and what does it mean to you?
It means a lot, because just for the simple fact I played for the U. I mean, what other school can you actually say is named after a letter of the alphabet? The U. The U. The Orange Bowl is actually shaped like the U, because they knew that University of Miami would be playing here.
Randall, I tell you what, it's obviously you still have your personality. I like that. Still have your energy. How about that 87 and 89 team? Can you tell us just a little bit about those teams?
The 87 team was, I think, was more of a collective group because they had just lost in the Fiesta Bowl in '86, and we came together as a unit, and our motto was press on. And pressing on means hanging together as a team, playing together as a team, and as one unit. The 89 team, we had a little bit more individualism, but we were able to overcome a lot of obstacles to actually win a national championship, because we actually lost one game that year against, I don't even want to say this, but Florida State.
No. Randall, how about some of the personalities on that team? Was Michael on that team? And how about some of those guys? Did you play with Lamar? Was he there? And
Lamar Thomas was, he was actually my roommate.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So I taught him some of my stuff. If I was the head
coach, I would I'd station a coach in that room to spend the night here every night.
Yeah, Michael Irvin was there in '87 to teach me and to teach me how to run routes. Brian Blades, Steve Walsh, all the guys were around. See, this is what I'm talking about, the U. The U. We are the U. So, no, but Michael Irvin and all those guys, we passed the baton to the next group.
On 3rd and 7, a big pass down the middle of the field. It lands incomplete. Darnell Jenkins went up for it in double coverage. Almost came down with it, but Miami's going to have to punt here. Well, Mr. Hill, I guess I should really call you that now. We understand that you are an agent with the federal government. I'm a little worried. I'm afraid you're going to come up here and cuff us and stuff us.
I don't really exist. You're not really talking to me right now.
Tell people what you do.
I'm actually a special agent for the United States government. I'm able to kind of like move satellites around. I can actually see into the future. And I know that in the future, the University of Miami will win a national championship real soon.
Well, it's been good to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Randall.
Okay.
Randall Thrill Hill. Here comes a thriller himself, Mr. Blackman. And this is going to be decent field position after the 54-yard punt for North Carolina State. Boy, Randall Thrill Hill brings back some memories. And, you know, the final 2 games here at the Orange Bowl, when you think about memories, as a lot of people are doing right now, you certainly think of that guy.
Well, I think about the Cotton Bowl when Miami played Texas in the Cotton Bowl, and Randall Hill ran out the tunnel, and I think he ran from Dallas all the way to Fort Worth before he could stop. He played with a lot of energy, had a lot of personality, as well as many players on that team did.
Boy, North Carolina State with a golden opportunity. They have the football now, down 3 with a lot of time on the clock. Eugene over the right side, gains a couple of yards on the play, and he now has 77 yards rushing on the afternoon. Boy, Freeman aired it out a couple of times on that last series, but he still has just 1 completion today.
Well, again, 1 huge completion, but he likes to, again, some high percentage things to really get his confidence up.
They come underneath. It's going to be short of the first down, but Eugene was quick out of the backfield to get open. Made the catch, then Gooden brought him down before he could get the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 2, maybe 3.
That's a good design by North Carolina State because they isolated Eugene on middle linebacker Tavares Gooden. Tavares is an excellent pass coverage guy, but again, he was open and a nice pass by Evans.
3-receiver look, but Evans goes back inside to Eugene, and he's got enough for the first down and backs his way into Miami territory. That was a great 2nd and 3rd effort by Eugene. He gets 10 on the carry.
I think you can sense that North Carolina State senses that they can really win this football game. They're right in it, and I think they can sense that, and they know that. Again, a nice effort here. Runs to a tackle, Calais Campbell, and not really a good physical tackle there by the defensive secondary of Miami, and a good finish by Eugene.
Eugene again. Inside the 45. You know, this is the first game in the Orange Bowl for the Wolfpack in 25 years. And we asked Tom O'Brien this week if he had any great Orange Bowl memories, and he said, no, heck no. When I was at BC, I never won there. So this could be a first for him, and it would be a great upset, and it would continue to turn things in the right direction for this NC State program if they could get a win here.
That's be a huge win.
Out of the backfield, Eugene. And Eugene has become a machine here on this series. Inside the 30, down at the 26. We'll call that 18 on that play.
Well, again, coming back to the play they had success with before, they isolated Gooden and Eugene, the middle linebacker. That's a mismatch. It's a mismatch for the Wolfpack offense. Good protection, wide open. Now, a good finish by Eugene.
22 North Carolina State players are Florida natives, including 10 from South Florida. Eugene is among them. And he's having a good day. He's getting a breather on the sideline, and Curtis Underwood takes that carry. McCarthy wraps him up.
Well, safety blitz by the Hurricane there. They've got to get North Carolina State out of a rhythm. North Carolina State, again, they're playing with confidence now. They believe they can win this football game now.
Evans seeing his confidence grow. He wants to throw on 2nd and 10 to the sideline. Bowens was open. He had a step on Glenn Sharp, but the pass was a little wide and a little underthrown, perhaps.
You'd like to see a better throw there. He would like to have that pass back because really you're getting some single coverage from the outside receivers, and that's an area where I think North Carolina State can take advantage of, but they can't unless they can execute and complete some passes in that area.
Crowd getting into this one. 8th play of the drive. 34,000 plus being heard from. Underneath pass, it is caught. Boy, and the receiver really took a hit. That was Darrell Davis. Kenny Phillips, who's thrown his body around quite a few times today, does it again there. And it's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Listen to this.
Oh, tremendous hit by Kenny Phillips. Don't go around number one. He will attack you. Great hit by Kenny Phillips.
Let's say 4th and 2.
Really an important play, completion, because it makes it a much more makeable field goal.
You surprised that they're going for the field goal? And
no, they've got momentum. They score points here. The game's tied. You're on the road. Definitely tie the game.
35 yards out. Line drive kick right between the eyes. And Hauschka, after missing from 29, has now made one from 31 and that one from 35. And we are tied up in South Florida. ESPNU College Football is presented by Allstate. Are you in good hands? Is that Flipper? We're in South Florida, beautiful Miami. Second to last game at the historic Orange Bowl. And boy, Miami is in a tough battle here with North Carolina State with 9:52 to go.
Well, this is a key drive for Miami because they've got to score points. It's not just a matter of running out the clock now. They've got to score points.
Hauschka's done a nice job kicking the ball deep, and Ryan Hill thought about it and then decides, I'm not taking any chances. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 20.
Yeah, nobody's told Hauschka they've moved the kickoff back 5 yards. This guy's kicked it in and out of the end zone the entire day.
Let's go to the studio and Mike Gleason.
Bucky, the Badgers, they tried a fake punt for the 2nd time. This time they didn't get it, and they paid the price.
Yeah, Ty Beckman sprints out to his right. Ron Rubisky runs a spot route. He throws it in traffic. What a great one-hand grab by Rubisky. 2nd for the day.
10th for the season, 31-17 Buckeyes. Play.
Now Ohio State now starting to pull away. Wisconsin without P.J. Hill at 100%. Penalty flag comes in.
12 men set on the field. 5 yards. Still 1st down.
Well, you really don't like that. This little disorganization on the sideline, and those are coaching errors, and those are things that you can't have, and especially you got a close game, a tight game, and again, that's twice that's happened.
Yep, that's the 2nd time we've seen that confusion from the Miami offensive unit.
That's frustrating as a coach because those are things that should not happen.
13-13 our score. Under 10 minutes to go. Javaris James in the backfield. He gets the handoff. Finds a hole on the left side. He is going to be close to a 1st down before Jeremy Gray, the left corner, runs him out. It's a gain of 14. So he'll be a yard short of that 1st down marker.
I think what you're going to see again, you're going to see Miami ride Javaris James, and a nice job by Drell Mayberry, and good powerful run by James, and nice tackle in the secondary.
That was the 20th play for Miami here in the half. North Carolina State has had 10 more offensive plays than Miami this half.
Well, they like that because I think they want to have a little bit of a delay game and just keep the football, run the clock, and again, they're right in this football game.
There's another Miami mistake on the right side. Reggie Youngblood, it appeared, jumped.
Again, that's going to be 2nd and 6 rather than 2nd and 1.
False start. Number 76 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Chris Rutledge is called.
That is the 5th penalty against Miami today. Rutledge, a junior out of Miami. I want to say that's the 2nd penalty on Rutledge today. So 2nd down and 6. And they go back to James. James, what an effort. Enough for the 1st down and a little bit more. We'll call it 10 for James. And they'll move the chains. Well, we've got college hockey coming up on ESPNU tomorrow. They're going to drop the puck between Army and Holy Cross. The Knights and the Crusaders coming your way. Hockey on ESPNU tomorrow at 4 Eastern time. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Javaris James now with 79 yards on 13 carries today.
Well, he's obviously, to me, he's the guy. He's the one. He and Darnell Jenkins are the two players that are going to win this football game if Miami wins it.
Good play there to trip him up. Nate Irving, the strong side linebacker, got back in the backfield. And it looked like James had some daylight there, but he got his hand out and tripped him up.
Yeah, really a nice job. It had a nice little crease, and just a good effort to trip him up. It was a trip. That's actually should have been a penalty, but tripping is illegal. But I'm sure North Carolina State will glad it happened and will take the play.
Now 2nd and 10. Deron Thomas back in the game for Miami. Makes a nifty move to get away from one tackler. Now 2. Can't escape the 3rd tackler. This time it was Nate Irving again. But Thomas makes something out of nothing. Gets 2 yards on the run.
Emphasize something out of nothing. He made 2 people miss him in the backfield. And that's one thing Deron can do. A little quick move here. There's 1 miss. There's 2 misses. Should have been a 4 or 5 yard loss. Finally, they wrap him up.
I'm going to use the word. He's got some escapability.
He's got some escapability.
We saw that big 54-yard run from him that led to a field goal in the first half. Here comes the blitz for North Carolina State. Freeman on the run and has it intercepted by Jeremy Gray. Yes, it's picked off. North Carolina State didn't know for sure if they actually had an interception because Gray thought he was out of bounds. But it is confirmed it's a pick, and Kirby Freeman's day continues to go from bad to worse. That's the 3rd time he's been intercepted today.
Well, that's a terrible mistake. Again, just throw it away and just throw it away. It's obviously it is an interception. Throw the football away. Punch. You've got a good defense, and you just can't make something out of nothing all day long. And just a mental error by Kirby Freeman.
Now a glorious chance for North Carolina State to take its first lead of the football game. Freeman today. Well, they're going to review it, but I don't know if there's anything to review. We saw it there, and it appears that Gray had the interception.
The only thing I would say is if Gray had been out of bounds and come back in or been forced to whatever, but I think it's an interception.
Freeman now 1 for 12, 84 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. I asked you at the top of the show, Coach, can Kirby Freeman do it? Kyle Wright's on the bench. Can Freeman be the guy? And if today's any indication, I don't know that he's the answer.
No, not today, obviously. It's just been a terrible day for Kirby Freeman. He had the one big play with a mistake in the North Carolina State defense. But, you know, the consistency that Patrick Nix was looking for, you don't see it at all today. And I think it's certainly a very disappointing day for Kirby Freeman. Still football left. You know, the Florida State game, three completions late in the game in the drive to win the football game. So let's see how it plays out.
Here's another look. Freeman on the run. All he had to do was throw it out of bounds if he had nothing downfield. Decide to try and force a pass in to Lance Leggett, and it was picked off by number 30, Jeremy Gray.
I think Lance Leggett wasn't expecting the football. He thought, like we did, thought Freeman was going to throw the ball away. And again, I think it's pretty obvious that's an interception, and it's NC State ball.
Gray is the team leader with 2 interceptions. That would be his 3rd. He had one last week as well against Virginia in that big upset win. Here's one more look. There's that left foot. It is out of bounds, and then he makes the catch. Now, I might have to eat some crow here because that replay there, when it slowed down, showed his left foot out of bounds.
Yeah. Just if he got it back in, I think probably that's the call they're going to have to make. Did he get his foot back in bounds before the catch was made?
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. An interception, first half.
Big break for North Carolina State, and the troubles for the Miami offense continue. That is a career high for interceptions thrown for Kirby Freeman. He has thrown 3 today. He also threw 3 against BC last year. Again, just 1 completion today. It was that long touchdown pass to Jenkins.
Well, Kirby Freeman is a tremendously tough competitor. He's got to put this out of his mind. He's going to have to do something to bring this team back and help win this football game.
Evans throws on first down, and Blackman drops another one. That is the second time we've seen him drop a pass on the exact same play.
Well, I think Kenny Phillips is talking to him and says that's a good decision to drop that pass because I was coming. But Blackman's got to make that play. Again, you're in a position to win this football game, a great win on the road. You've got to make those plays.
Especially when you're a senior. You need your leadership now.
Exactly. Out
of the gun, Evans has a man wide open. It's Eugene. He's got enough for the first down, and he's down at the 25. Jamel Eugene with a 15-yard reception, and North Carolina State is banging on the door here late in this football game.
Well, I think you can see the confidence that North Carolina State has. These little under routes have been very good for North Carolina State all day long. Nice throw and catch. It's an easy play. It's a play that most quarterbacks can make. I'm surprised at how good the protection is for NC State.
Evans again, deep downfield, and he overthrew Darrell Davis, and he may have overthrown that on purpose.
May have. Really good coverage there, and I think NC State would like to get a touchdown here. They're not playing conservatively because they know if they get a touchdown, it's really going to put Miami in a bind to go the length of the field and tie this game up. A field goal, they're close to field goal range now.
Decent numbers today for Evans. Still doesn't have a touchdown pass, but maybe this is the drive. He changes that. Throws, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Eugene again out of the backfield. And again, some decent coverage there by the linebackers. That was Tavares Gooden, number 52, got a hand in it, and I think helped knock that out.
Well, he did. They also involved the safety in the coverage, too. They'd actually doubled that route, which is a good adjustment by Tim Walton's defense because they haven't covered the isolation on Gooden all day long. That's been open, and they've hit it.
This Miami defense has been very good this year at home. They're trying to prevent North Carolina State from taking a lead here in the fourth quarter. Penalty flags come in, and hard to tell whether Miami moved first or North Carolina State came in offside.
Miami was in an all-out blitz. I think it might have been movement by the
right to the snap. Full start. Number 76 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
As Curtis Crouch, an interior lineman, junior out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Tom O'Brien has never won a football game at the Orange Bowl. This will be his last opportunity. The Hurricanes moving to Dolphin Stadium for 2008. Could he get a win here today to derail the Hurricanes' hopes that they still have for an ACC title? Evans, low snap, comes underneath. Another drop pass. Eugene had it and his shoulder pads and then dropped it.
Well, much better coverage that time. It wasn't going to be much of a gain. He wasn't that wide open. They're involving the safeties now to help the middle linebacker, which is a good adjustment.
Well, this is going to be a long field goal attempt for Hauschka. Now, it's been a seesaw day for Hauschka. He missed from 29, made from 31, then made from 35 to tie it up. This will be from 47 yards out. He's got a long of 49 this year. This will be to take the lead.
Plus, he's got the wind to his back today also.
Out of the hold of Pearson. On the way. It is long enough. And it is good. And North Carolina State has taken the lead 16-13 with under 7 minutes to go.
Well, it's just a huge play by North Carolina State. They feel like, you can see the confidence. They feel like they can win this football game, and they're doing things to do it.
North Carolina State has taken its first lead of the day. They have scored 9 unanswered points. The last 3 by Hauschka, taking advantage of that third interception thrown by Freeman. And how about Hauschka? He missed in the second quarter from 29 yards out. But since then, he has made from 31, 35, and 47. That's taking something bad, putting it in your back pocket, and forgetting about it.
The good ones do that. They missed. They know why they missed. They correct it mentally. And they go on with the game. That's what Hauschka's done really a great job. And wow, what a kickoff.
Yeah, he has been outstanding. Miami starting again from the 20. Hauschka graduated from Middlebury College up in Massachusetts, and he took advantage of the NCAA graduate transfer rule, and here he is. He is a grad student. And right now he is the difference in this football game.
Well, he is a difference. He's very smooth. You can tell he's very relaxed and has great power with his leg and just gets it up and gets it up in a hurry.
He never played football until his sophomore year at Middlebury. He was a soccer star before that, but looks pretty good in a football uniform. And right now he is the difference in this game. A 3-point lead for North Carolina State, their first lead of the game. There is Greg Cooper on a run, as this is an important drive now for Miami.
A very important drive. And again, the NC State is leading the nation in turnovers. They have none today, and Miami has 3. That's without question the big difference in the football game. We said it before the broadcast: turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. And NC State is doing a great job winning that battle. Give Tom O'Brien and his staff credit for coaching and protecting the football.
Second down and 2. Straight ahead trying to get it. They needed to get it out over the 30-yard line, and there's the fullback again, Jarrell Mabry, and he's got it. They needed 2, and he got 2. ESPNU College Football presented by Allstate. We're at the Orange Bowl in Miami. He is the coach, Larry Coker, and I'm Clay Matvick. So happy to have you along. This is a big game for the Hurricanes. They control their own destiny as far as winning the Coastal Division in the ACC, but they can't afford a loss in order for that to happen. And right now, they're down by 3 to North Carolina State. It's been a tough day for the Hurricanes quarterback, Kirby Freeman. Here we go again. Darnell Jenkins, we've seen this before. Progressively, that play has gotten better for Miami, but not much that time. Let's go to Mike Gleason.
Wake Forest and Virginia, both 4-1 in the ACC. They've got a barn burner.
Cardiac Cavs, 5 of 7.
Michael Simpson.
Michael Simpson doing a great job. 271 total yards, gets in the end zone.
Virginia, 5 games, 5 points or less. They're up by 1 with 2 to go.
And North Carolina State, of course, ending that winning streak for the Cavs last week. It was at 7. Trying to get back on the right track today. Good change of direction for Greg Cooper. Got it out close to the 40-yard line. That's where he needed to get for a first down. We have not seen a lot of Cooper today. Why do you think that is, Coach?
Well, I think Javaris James has got most of the work, but I think they need to get settled in on somebody, let them get the work and get in a rhythm, and I think that's the most important thing. Miami doesn't need to panic. They've got a lot of time and timeouts, but they do need to protect the football, and they do need to make first downs. If they don't hit a big play running the ball, it's going to be hard just to march the ball downfield. They're going to have to throw the ball some, probably.
Miami 3 of 13 today on 3rd down. This is an important 3rd and 1 to keep this drive alive. And they've got it. They go right to Greg Cooper, and he picks up 2 or 3 yards on the run, and they'll move the chains. Both teams, Coach, have all their timeouts left, and we'll probably see that come into play. Clock is going to be important here down the stretch.
Very, very important. And I think the thing you see, it's very hot down the field. It's a beautiful day in Miami, but the players very warm. North Carolina State substituted several different members to the unit, and I think they're trying to keep fresh bodies in the game.
Move a man in motion. A draw play, and Greg Cooper is going to be dropped for a loss. Nate Irving shooting in from his linebacker spot makes the big tackle. Now, Kirby Freeman had a big comeback game against Florida State. Did not play exceptionally well, but when he needed to, down the stretch, led him on 2 touchdown drives, including the go-ahead touchdown to Dietrich Epps. Does Kirby Freeman have that in him today? He's going to have to do a little Houdini act and come from behind fashion today, because he has looked awful throwing the football. Decides to keep it there.
You can't pull the rabbit out of the hat too many times. You go to the well too often, you're going to lose some of those close games. And but you might get an interception, you might get a ball batted down, you might not make it on the 4th down. There's several things can happen. You can't miss on anything, and I think that's kind of where Kirby is today. He had that magic against Florida State. Can he have it again today?
3rd down and 6 coming up. Almost a wholesale substitution defensively for North Carolina State.
Yeah, they got their starters back in. They've got fresh troops in. They know the game is on the line right now. They're ahead. They've got an opportunity to win this football game.
And now Freeman wants a timeout. That is the first timeout used up by either team here in the second half. And Randy Shannon walking over to talk things over with his quarterback, Patrick Nix, the offensive coordinator, shouting some instructions through the headset. And Miami, their play selection today, 46 runs, 12 passes. But they're probably in a passing situation here on 3rd and 6.
Well, I would think so, and I think 3 of those passes were intercepted. So, you know, not a good day passing the football. But I think the thing, 3rd and 6, you're probably going to need to have something to throw the football. They've run the naked bootlegs, and they have not been very successful with it. They probably need to be able to drop back and the option routes and get the ball in the middle of the field some.
Well, we've said this before. Miami didn't play last weekend, but because of the losses by Virginia Tech to BC and Virginia to North Carolina State, the Hurricanes are in control of their own fate in the division race. If they win out, the Canes would win the Coastal Division based on the tiebreak, and they would go to the ACC championship game for the first time in team history. That is a great scenario for that team, considering that they lost back-to-back games to North Carolina and Georgia Tech. But here they are. Still, they are faced in a tough situation here, down by 3. On 3rd down, they get the first down.
Well, that's not a passing situation. It's a running situation.
Certainly has been for Miami, especially in the second half. Every down is a running situation, and Greg Cooper gets the big gain there.
Miami would like to win this game just in any fashion, but you'd like to have momentum. They played Virginia Tech and Boston College back-to-back on the road, so they've got some tough games left without question.
Cooper now with 46 yards rushing, but none more important than that last 10 he picked up. 1st and 10, ball at the 42 of North Carolina State. Miami perhaps on a game-winning drive. We'll have to wait and see. They go to Cooper again. He stood up at the line, maybe got a yard.
You can see what Miami's philosophy is. They're going to run the football and try to hammer it out, make some first downs, and they've been successful so far, but you know, they still have 40 yards to go.
Was Sean McCoy is the leader among freshmen this year. Ironically, those 2 guys were teammates at Milford Prep in New York just last year.
Well, both outstanding prospects, and Cooper was player of the year coming out of high school in Tennessee. And
here he gets a carry over the left tackle, another big gain, and it's going to be close to another Miami first down. Maybe they decided to rest Cooper for the lion's share of the game to save him for a situation like this, because it's obvious he's got fresh legs.
Well, he does have fresh legs, but I don't think they wanted to rest him. If they don't rest him, and maybe you won't have a situation like this. And I think without question he is fresh and coming out of the game now, but he's special. Average 10 yards a carry in prep school. The player of the year in prep school coming out.
James back out there as the tailback. 1.5 minutes to go. Miami down 3. Spin move. James into the secondary and down at the 20. Another Miami first down. 11 yards on that run. Miguel Scott finally tripped him up.
Speaking of fresh legs, you saw fresh legs and power there by Javaris James. Really a great job on the toss, and nice block by Diedrich Epson here. Great spin move, and watch the power and the finish. Javaris James, an outstanding running back.
Looked a little bit like Edgerrin there, didn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't have great speed, but he does have power. He does have running skills.
James again to the outside. Takes a hit. Finally, 3 North Carolina State defenders come in to pull him down, but an inspired run there by James, and this crowd is really getting into it. They know that the season is on the line here for Miami in a lot of respects. A win today, and the Hurricanes are bowl eligible.
Well, again, I think in Miami, I think being bowl eligible is important, but they want a lot more. They would like to have that ACC opportunity for a championship, and they control their own destiny, but they have to win today.
Timeout called by Miami. They have 1 remaining. If they don't win here today, their hopes for that ACC title go out the window.
Well, that's important. Again, They still want to be bowl eligible, but more importantly, they want to still be in contention for an ACC championship. It'll be a tough road. They go to Boston College, they go to Virginia Tech to finish the season. And they've got a good Virginia team next week here in the Orange Bowl. Last game in the Orange Bowl, by the way.
Maryland and North Carolina coming up after this contest here on ESPNU. Later tonight, Rutgers and UConn, a big game in the Big East. We've got a good one here at the Orange Bowl. Just over a minute to go. North Carolina State on top by 3, but Miami is in the red zone. This is Greg Cooper again, down to the 10 and close to another first down. Clock continuing to move. And now they'll stop it to probably take a measurement. Boy, they have not abandoned this game plan here in the second half of sticking with what's working, and that's the run game.
Well, that's exactly right. They knew what they had to do to win the football game. Kirby's struggling passing the football, 3 interceptions, and so they knew they had to run the football. And Greg Cooper and Javaris James, the offensive line, have kind of taken it personal and really done a good job moving the chains. Now, this is an important measurement. If it's short, the clock will start as soon as they get the ball spotted.
It is an inch short. Tom McCreesh, the referee, the crew chief for this ACC crew, you saw his hand, just an inch shy.
It is 4th down, and again, the clock's going to start as soon as, and Miami only has 1 timeout left. As soon as they get it spotted and the chain set. A good job by the Miami offense. They're set, they're ready, they're not in the huddle, they're up on the wall.
What are they going to run here? Do they keep it in Freeman's hands?
I say it's going to be a quarterback sneak.
They'll start the clock. And Freeman keeps, and it looks like he's got it. And the clock stops again with 43 seconds to go. And it is a Miami first down. That was the 14th play of the drive. Every single one of them a rush.
Well, I think Miami could have tied the game on a field goal, but they're here to win this thing. They've got to win it. They know that. They don't want to go to overtime. They've still got 1 timeout left, 43 seconds. They may have to go to the end zone, may not be able to run it.
Cooper, as they keep it on the ground, big play by the North Carolina State defense as they stopped Cooper as he got back to the line of scrimmage.
They're probably going to have to throw the football. They have no timeouts left. They can't afford to take a negative play and get tackled. And of course, they can, on 2nd down, they can spike the football. But they're probably going to have to throw, and I don't think they really want to do that.
Miami led for the entire game until here in the 4th quarter, Stephen Hauschka hit a 47-yard bomb. His 3rd field goal of the day. He is 3 for 4 on field goal attempts, and right now he is the difference in this football game.
Well, he was an outstanding kicker coming in, had not missed the entire year, and he's proved his worth here. He did miss one, but has hit some critical field goals in this football game.
Here's a look at this drive for Miami. Freeman a couple of runs, Jenkins a run, Mabry a run, Cooper 9 runs, and James 2 carries. They have kept it on the ground. All 15 plays have been running plays. And they've got it at the 10-yard line. 2nd down and goal to go.
The beauty of this, they score a touchdown here. Boston, North Carolina State will have no time to get a score.
Freeman, the first pass of the drive, going to the end zone. There is some contact down there. Ball lands incomplete. The Miami fans want a penalty, but there's no flag down. That was Sam Shields, number 83, the team's 2nd leading receiver, looking for his 3rd touchdown catch of the season, but it lands incomplete.
Well, not a very high percentage play going across the field for a fade, but again, it's one of those things that Miami's going to catch it or nobody else is going to catch it. Just pretty good coverage here, probably pretty good no call. Both of them competing for the football, and a good, really a good pass by Freeman to get the ball up in the air, keep it inbounds, make it catchable.
Clock stops with 28 seconds to go. 3rd down, goal to go from the 10. Freeman, same play. Incomplete again. Good job by DeAndre Morgan, the redshirt freshman. As we talked about, Coach, recently promoted to that position as a starter, and he looks like a seasoned vet there on the cover. 2 outstanding plays by DeAndre. That was really an outstanding job. The ball was pretty well thrown, but again, just he competed well for the football and knocked them both down. Now Darren Daly to tie it up. He's made a 22 and a 33, also missing a 41, and North Carolina State wants to ice him. This will be a 27-yard attempt. This is the miss from earlier today from 41 yards. And he didn't miss it by much.
Well, he hit it well. He just missed a little bit wide. Again, this is a chip shot. This should be a very easy, makeable field goal for Darren Daly.
Daly, for the majority of the year, has been the kickoff specialist, a native of Dublin, Ireland. But Francesco Zappogna struggling this year. And for the second week in a row, Daly has also been doing field goals and PATs. This is a huge attempt coming up from 27 yards out. He makes it. He ties the game.
This is a you earn your scholarship kick here.
Strimple to hold. David Strimple on the way, and it is good. 27-yard field goal for Darren Daly, and we're knotted up again, this time at 16.
That's really good operation. Great protection by the front of the Miami Hurricanes. Excellent snap hold, rhythm by Daly. That's clockwork, perfection.
18 plays, 70 yards on that drive. Did it all on the ground. He took a couple of shots at the end zone through the air on the end of that series. Came up empty, and they put it in the hands, or should I say, on the foot of Darren Daly, and he nailed it.
Well, he did. I think one pass is very, very well could have been intercepted in the corner of the end zone. The second pass on the fade, but again, it gave Miami an opportunity to at least tie the game. And they wanted to win the game in regulation. As I said, they used it the entire clock. Had they scored a touchdown, North Carolina State would have had no time to come back and win the game. Now, it looks like the game's going to go to overtime.
Now, what do you expect to see here on the kickoff? And then if North Carolina State gets decent field position, do they take a shot downfield, or are they happy to just go to overtime?
No, I think if you get field position, you take a shot. You got a great kicker. He's got the wind to his back. So I think it's a great opportunity to take a shot. That's why you ought to be careful with just a split kick, because they'll have time. They've got 2 timeouts left. They'll have time to maybe complete the football down the field, get out of bounds, stop the clock, and maybe have a long field goal attempt. The field goal kicker's good. He's got confidence. Give him a shot.
Now keep in mind, Darrell Blackman, number 2 for North Carolina State, is one of the best return men in the ACC. He had one nice return that was called back because of a North Carolina State penalty, but it gave you an idea of what he is capable of. And I'm sure Miami certainly knows that. In fact, they try to kick away from him. But Blackman comes in front of Bowens, and he'll start the return to the 25. Stumbles, still on his feet, now taken out of bounds at the 27-yard line with 13 seconds on the clock.
Well, now you've got a long distance to go. If field position isn't that great for you, it's going to take probably 2 opportunities. And I think Tom O'Brien's got a decision to make here, whether he wants to try that or just go to overtime.
Dana Bible is the offensive coordinator for North Carolina State. He has been on Tom O'Brien's staff since 1999, going back to their days together at Boston College. We'll see what they have in store for us. We'll have to wait till overtime, because Evans is glad to take a knee and run the clock out.
Well, North Carolina State has played too well on the road to really botch it late and allow Miami to win it with a late field goal. Take it to overtime, see what happens.
What a game here at the Orange Bowl today. Miami had a 10-0 lead at one point, but North Carolina State has been feisty, and we're going to overtime.
Jack Links.
North Carolina State has won the toss.
Miami gets now to choose the end.
North Carolina State has won the toss and elected to go on defense. Miami will start at offense at the 25-yard line.
All right, let's revisit those rules, Coach. from the 25-yard line per overtime. Each team gets one possession from there until a winner is decided. There's no game clock, just a play clock. And after the third overtime, you have to go for 2.
Right.
We'll see if it goes that far, if that even becomes a factor.
No, it's after the second overtime, starting with the third overtime. Right. Have to go for 2. But I think the thing that you noticed that North Carolina State, they want to toss and select and play defense because now they'll know what they need when they go on offense to win this game. But now Miami gets the choice of which end of the field to play. Well, obviously they're going to play on the end where they have the crowd. So that's a smart choice by North Carolina State and a good choice of where to play by Miami.
Yeah, the east end of the stadium is wide open.
Wide open, right. That would be an advantage to NC State.
So Miami will start with the football. This is the Hurricanes' first overtime game since 2005. And they won in 3 overtimes against Clemson. They're going to go to the fullback, Jarrell Mabry. How about that? The first play of overtime, and they go to their little used fullback.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of power out of Miami in this overtime series. And, you know, they may pass the ball some, but I think their mantra is going to be to run the football.
North Carolina State has not played in an overtime since 2003 when they went in a big battle with Florida State and lost in a couple of overtimes. 2nd down and 3 here for Miami. We're in overtime. Freeman turns, hands off. Javaris James slipped down. It looked like he had a crease and enough room to get a first down, but he fell over.
You don't see that often from Javaris James because he really runs well in traffic and he's really powerful in the legs. And that's a pretty fortunate play for NC State.
So they got it at the 17. They need to get to the 15 for a first down. North Carolina State has elected to play defense first. We'll see if their decision pays off. Freeman going back to James, finds some room on the outside, and he's got the first down. They'll move to James. Again, no game clock, just play clock from here on out.
Exactly, and they do have 1 timeout. You can't carry timeouts over from regulation play. They will have 1 timeout if they need it. And the thing that I think, again, you see them running the football.
Each team with 1 timeout here. Greg Cooper coming off the sideline. You hear that from the crowd. It's not a boo, it's Coop.
It's Coop. I think North Carolina State's going to have to add an additional defender to the front. They know Miami's going to run the football. Go ahead and bring the safeties up and going to have to risk a little bit. I think sure Mike Archer knows that.
Cooper has 4.4 speed. They're going to put it in his hands here. Oh, and he's leveled at the 15-yard line. What a huge play by Alan Michael Cash. That's a loss of 2. Number 49, 6'1", 286. Took Cooper right out of his shoes.
There's like a great crease right there, but Cash just does a phenomenal job, makes a form tackle. That's a showstopper there.
2nd down and 11. They need to get down to the 3-yard line for a first down.
Again, I think they're going to have to throw the ball in this overtime and be successful with it to win.
Freeman back to Cooper. Again, not a lot of running room. And Miami really is kind of handicapped from this point on because they haven't been able to throw the football all day. It's something that's really out of their arsenal right now.
Well, it is. It was against Florida State, too. But Kirby Freeman came through late, 3 completions, 1 for a great throw and a touchdown to Dedrick Epps. And, again, that was a huge, huge play. Because 3rd down and long, what do? I think probably you've got to throw the football. And if you do, then you take a risk. Because you don't want to turn it over. You turn it over, and that means North Carolina State could turn around and win it with a field goal. Because they know what they'll need to have to score.
And Miami has decided to burn its time out of the overtime right here.
Of this overtime period.
Well, they've got to come up with something here on 3rd down and 9. And we know up here it's a passing situation, but it just hasn't been a passing day for Kirby Freeman. He's got 3 interceptions. Last time that both teams played in overtime, we talked about the Florida State loss for NC State back in 2003. Clemson win in 05 for Miami. Here are the numbers, Coach, for Kirby Freeman today. 1 for 14 throwing the football for 84 yards and a touchdown and 3 picks. That one completion was the 84-yard touchdown reception by Darnell Jenkins. He has not completed a pass other than that.
Well, Kirby can improvise and come up with some big plays, but as Patrick Nix said, that you've got to have the consistency, and that's what they haven't had today. If you got Jenkins isolated one-on-one here, you look for him a post corner move, and I think you have that. Number 8 out here to the field.
Jenkins, they play a man-to-man. They decide to run it. They give it to Cooper, and he is stopped short. Well short, down at the 10. He's about 7 yards shy of what he needed to get, and the field goal unit will come out.
Darnell Jenkins is really frustrated because he knows he's one-on-one on the outside. They can't cover him. They can't cover him one-on-one. And again, he knows that, and he wants to put this game away and go home.
Here comes Darren Daly again from 27 yards out. He's got a long today of 33. The spot, the kick, and it is no good. He pushed it. And North Carolina State will get the football at the 25-yard line and have a golden opportunity to win this football game. All they need now is a field goal.
That's more than huge. That's monumental. And be interesting to see the strategy now. If you kick the ball right now, it's what, 25, 42-yard field goal.
He actually hooked it. It was hard to tell from up here in the press box, but it was obviously just wide. And Daly misses his second field goal attempt today, and North Carolina State has the football. All they need is 3. They safely give it to Eugene ahead, back to the original line of scrimmage.
I think the key for North Carolina State, they play extremely hard, extremely well, not take negative plays, make sure that they at least get a field goal opportunity to win this football game. It's for 42 yards right now. They'd like to get it closer, but they don't want to take negative plays here.
When you talk about their guy, Hauschka, he's on fire right now. He's hit from 31, 35, and 47 in a row.
And you may see him kick on 3rd down in case there's a mistake in the execution. They still have another opportunity.
Eugene again. And again, very safe. Back to the line of scrimmage. Randy Phillips made the stop. Don't forget, coming up at 3:45 Eastern Time, Maryland at North Carolina. Former Hurricanes coach Butch Davis in his first year at North Carolina, trying to get win number 3 on the year today. Trying to knock off Maryland at home. That game's coming up. There's Hauschka on the sideline getting ready for what would be a game-winning field goal attempt. On 3rd down. They're going to pass. Evans going down the sideline. Incomplete. He was trying to hit Bowens, but he was well covered in the secondary.
Well, I think that's a good call, but again, he really no attempt, no opportunity to make the catch. You'd like to see Bowens give the quarterback a little bit more room to throw the ball, because obviously Evans didn't have any place to throw the ball, but wisely put away to give their kicker an opportunity to win this football game.
Stephen Hauschka for the win from 42 yards out.
The wind's to his back also.
We've seen him hit from 47 already today. The spot, the kick, on the way. And it's good. North Carolina State has won. Stephen Hauschka with his 4th field goal of the day spoils Miami's season. 19-16 the final in overtime.
Well, a huge win for Tom O'Brien. He's never won in this stadium, but he has now, and that's got to be monumental for him, especially for his team.
What it comes down to on the Miami sideline is just not enough from Kirby Freeman today.
You have to be able to pass and catch the football. If you can't do that, you're not going to be able to win. You can win sometimes, but not often.
Once again, the final score, North Carolina State 19, Miami 16. Coming up next on ESPNU, it's SportsCenter U. For more information, log on to your home for the finest in college sports, ESPNU.com. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Larry Coker and our entire crew, I'm Clay Matvick. So long from the Orange Bowl in Miami. Once again, a huge win for North Carolina State. A disappointing loss for the Canes. Now let's